Okay. Um, let's turn down the gain on this. Properties. Um, do 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 do. Welcome, 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 welcome. I am running late. I'm running very late. Let me fix the sound real quick. Sorry about that. I'm trying to get the game to work, but it also only works like if I don't touch anything on my computer while the game is going. So, closes down. Here we go. Here we go. Why is this? It should not be coming through these speakers. Okay, if I turn off the speakers, do I still hear it from here? I don't. Okay, I'm just not going to hear the game then. Hi, everyone. Welcome. Thank you for resubscribing, Helga Sanchez. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Today's a fun stream. As you saw on TikTok already, we've been talking about Prince of Persia, and I'm just like, I'm feeling Prince of Persia, I'm feeling Prince of Persia, I'm feeling Prince of Persia. So I'm going to play my favorite game, which is the 2008 version of Prince of Persia. I wonder if the sound is coming through on here. I don't think it is because I can't look at both at the same time. I can't do both at the same time. Let me add an audio source. Da, 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 da. What if I add... What if I add just the game as a source? Looking for a game to capture any full screen application. And allow that. And then does that, how do I get the audio of that then? Audio output capture, add source. Add source, this is gonna be device soundbar, maybe? Okay, let's try it. Alright, open up the game again. Technical difficulties, this would be so crazy.
The wind is free, but the sand goes where it is blown, unaware of the world around it, whirling on the breath of the gods, at the mercy of the storm that engulfs it.
Fixing things. Can't. I don't know why I can't keep the game open. I see that. I'm going to turn the game down. I don't know why I can't keep the game open and fix stuff on stream at the same time. I don't understand it. Also showing double. Yeah, no, it's showing double. It's showing double. It's just, ooh, so confusing. Okay, let's keep the game down. And then, hopefully, because I can't see. Okay. Okay. I think this is working. I think this is working. How's the sound? Is the audio okay? Also, I did unlock the Assassin's Creed skin for this game. So I will be playing as the Prince of Persia dressed up in an Assassin's Creed costume. Thank you for resubscribing, little taters. Happy New Year to everyone. I hope you're having a good New Year so far. I hope you have named your year. I hope you have themed your year. I hope you've done all of those wonderful things that we like to do at the beginning of the year. If you're a resolutions fan, then I hope you do resolutions. I was very confused at first. I remember you mentioning the assassins, but I didn't think those assassins. Oh, the only assassins I ever talk about on the internet are these assassins, because these are my people. This is my kutum. Alright. I have not played this game in a year, so if I mess up the controls, This is my year to let go of guilt. Taters, that is a great goal to have. Again, for anyone doing resolutions, I just want to do a quick reminder. Every little bit counts. Every little bit counts. That's what my video on TikTok tomorrow is going to be about. So even if you hold on to a little bit of guilt, but you recognize it, you notice it, and you try, count that as a win. Count that as a win, because if you count that as a loss, then you're just going to get dejected and feel even more guilty, and nobody's going to win. Nobody's going to win. My resolution, and I like to start my resolutions in December so that I get some momentum by the time January starts. So you may have already noticed, my resolution is to be more of who I want to be and less who I think other people want me to be. So that's my thing. I'm gonna see if the sound is coming through on these headphones because I do still want to hear it. Let's see here. X, okay. B, forgotten attacks. X for sword attacks. Oh, good thing I still have the tutorial on. Right to block. During an enemy combo, you can only block or deflect attacks. Hold the right trigger to block. Okay.
Bet you wish you'd opted for conversation now, don't you?
Okay, dang it, I gotta close the game again. Why change anything when the game is up? This is so... Okay, put this on monitoring. If this doesn't work, then I'm just gonna ignore it, and we're gonna... And it'll be fine. It'll be fine. Global settings, auto monitoring device is the Yeti, streaming track 1, audio tracks 1, 2, 3. Okay. Okay. Let's try it. Can I hear it? No.
Yeah, and you can run too.
Okay. It's fine.
Why are you
No
calling?
headphones for this one, I guess.
I'm not. I'm looking for
Farah, I heard you yelling. You and your girlfriend should get out of here.
girlfriend. Farah's not my girlfriend. She's my donkey.
You're risking your life for a donkey.
Yeah, I got it. I love that for you. Context clues, right?
King's ransom of gold.
Try to do that.
Just get out of here. If they don't see you with me, you'll be all right.
And then,
you.
yeah.
Want to time your advice better next time?
I love this game so much. You guys you'll see it in a little bit, but this whole game looks like a painting, and I love it. I love it so much. So far we've fought a few bad guys, but most of the bad guys in this game are ink. They look like ink, like calligraphy ink. It's so beautiful. I love it so much. Also, wall running is like a staple of this
nothing
series.
to do with this. No!
I can't believe they didn't do so much. There should have been way more running in the movie. It's like, that's the thing, is wall running. I almost said Assassin's Creed. That's the Prince of Persia thing. Also, I apologize if I'm coughing. My throat is in a lot of pain right now.
We better get out of here. How did you do that?
I don't know why, but like, people have been asking questions about Prince of Persia, and I'm like, I love it so much, I want to talk about it forever. So the reason I was late to stream today by about 5 minutes is because I was filming a TikTok about Prince of Persia, and I got so excited about it that I forgot I was supposed to stream Tridation for the throat. I don't have chai today, so this will be a hydration check for the throat.
You really can.
Browicky, thank you for joining the chat. This is the 2008 relaunch of the series. This was supposed to be the first in a bunch of Prince of Persia games to sort of reboot the series after Sands of Time, after Twin Thrones and all that stuff. Unfortunately, it didn't work as a series, so it's just the one game. am looking down at my controller because it doesn't. I don't know where the buttons are. It has been so long since I've used an Xbox controller. I forgot where the buttons are. I always enjoy the videos that you get excited and passionate about the content, so I'm excited for that vid. I am too. I messed up a whole bunch, but I will re-record it probably when there's more light outside, because it is about Sir Ben Kingsley's heritage. And if you don't know, Sir Ben Kingsley's dad and I have the same heritage. So when I talk about Sir Ben Kingsley's heritage, I'm talking about my heritage. And it's a lot of fun. Yes! Oh, so smooth! So smooth. I remember picking this up after completing Sands of Time, but I didn't have time to get very far with it. Excited to see how it goes. This is my third playthrough of the game. Because I love this game so much. And it's, this game specifically, more so than the other Prince of Persia games, focuses on just making sure you get through it, as opposed to like combat and button mashing and all that stuff. It's just about get through the game as smoothly and as prettily as possible, I guess. The first Prince of Persia game was defined by its aesthetics. They used rotoscoping for the character animations. And so they're like really smooth and really realistic animations. So this game tried to capture that same energy. It's like, we're just gonna make this as smooth and as graceful and as artistic as possible. And just, I can also counterattack by pressing A, B, or X. Okay, good to know.
It is finished.
And so it's so pretty. It's so pretty.
There is nowhere to go.
And you'll see this as we get further in the game. You can't die in this game, which is super nice because I suck at video games. So the fact that you can't die through most of it is very reassuring. It's very reassuring. I guess you already saw it a little bit earlier. When I fell off that cliff and Elika came and like picked me up, that's what happens when you die. Elika just saves you, and it's really nice. Also, that's not Elika. I don't know who that is. I changed. I'm playing in the Altair skin. I don't know who Elika is. But yeah, I remember playing Sands of Time. I think it was on the Wii. I think I rented it from Blockbuster. And it was just so frustrating, and I ran out of sand because I kept messing up and falling off of stuff and all that stuff, so I kept having to be like, reset, try again, right? Whereas this, I can just go and enjoy and not worry about how good I am at it, which is always nice. Also, you can probably tell that this came out right after the first Assassin's Creed, from the same studio. So there's a lot of overlap, not just in this costume, but in like the gameplay in general, in the wall running and the climbing and stuff.
I can't see anyone following. We should hurry.
Also, the origin of Assassin's Creed is such a fun story. Maybe I'll talk about it on TikTok. Maybe I'll talk about it right now. Who knows? Because for Assassin's Creed, the original plan was to have the historical assassins in... I'm talking about it right now, because I'm so excited. The original plan was to have the historical assassins in Prince of Persia video game. And so Ubisoft, who puts a little bit of effort... Hi, William. Welcome to the stream. Ubisoft, who puts a little bit of effort into their games and the historical accuracy, looked into the historical assassins. And they started with the book Alamut by Vladimir Bartol, which is not a historically accurate book at all. William, this is the 2008 remake of Prince of Persia. So like when they tried to reboot the series and have an original storyline, it didn't work. So they looked at like real life assassins. They started with Alamut by Vladimir Bartol, and then they looked at the actual history of the assassins and the historical record that we have, which is a little bit convoluted. And they like learned so much about the assassins. They're like, we can't have this be a generic bad guy in our Prince of Persia video game. We have to make a separate video game just for the assassins so that we can tell this story. And so they did, and that was the Assassin's Creed that we got in 2006, where it's based on a real group of people. It's based on historical events. It's based on historical people and events and locations. That's what I was going to say. What happened was some people from my community and some Iranians, or not Iranians, some Syrians, weren't too happy about the video game. So they ended up scrapping Altair and that entire plot line for the series, and they moved straight to Assassin's Creed 2, which takes place in the Renaissance. So Assassin's Creed 1 is based on real-life assassins from real-life history. Assassin's Creed 2 onwards is taking historical events and adding this narrative of the assassins on top of it, which is still fun, but not as exciting as like getting the representation of like, oh, this video game is about me, right? Bro, welcome to the stream. My stream gets derailed constantly. Don't apologize for derailed. Sands of Time as a video game is a lot of fun for storytelling. The use of the dagger as a game mechanic was revolutionary. The only beef I have with Sands of Time is that I'm not good at it. That's the only beef I have. I'm not good at it. Same with literally any other video game. Gears of War is intense. It like stresses you out. The only beef I have is that I'm bad at it. And lag. I still gotta look at my controller. Oops. I still gotta look at my controller because what happened? Okay. They'll have a chance to kill you. Hold the right trigger to block. See, the enemy is so nice that he doesn't even push me off of the edge. He grabs me and he brings me back. So nice, right? But here you can see, like, he's trailing this calligraphy, and he is like, oh, just such a good monster. I can't hear what's going on, which is making this very difficult. To be fair, it's a platform game. It's made platform very difficult. It's constant, although cinematically beautiful camera changes. Yes. I think one of the things that I like about the Assassin's Creed games and the Prince of Persia games is that once you sort of get into the rhythm, it becomes a lot easier to do like the combos and stuff, do the climbing and stuff, and just like feel the flow of the video. So there's definitely a learning curve, but it's like you get into it, and then once you're like a quarter of the way through or halfway through, it just becomes a flow. You just know what buttons to press, and it's very nice. Sounds like I need to carry Akko through Gears. I've made it through Gears of War 2. That's the only one I've made it through. Alika's not ready for an attack. Okay. See, That's what I like about this game. When you get too close to the edge, the monster pulls you back. When the monster gets too close to the edge, you win. It's nice. It's a kind game. I love this. So, I don't, because I play this so much more than the other Prince of Persia games, I'm more familiar with like the varying stories. And what we see here in this game is something that comes from Zoroastrianism. Zoroastrian dualism. That's the word. Because in Zoroastrianism, the whole balance of the universe is between light and dark, is between Ormazd and Ahriman, as they're referred to in this game.
Any more of your relatives
And so this
kill
whole
us?
idea
Or is it
of
just your
like
father who wants to
the
end the
enemy is the embodiment of darkness,
Any of this?
and in order to defeat them, you need to have this person who's like made out of
Assuming the
light.
great god of darkness
That's just,
will
ooh,
squish us
I'm
flat.
digging the symbolism, and I'm glad. Like, I'm not Zoroastrian, but
Not fully.
based on, you know, shared beliefs that I have with the Zoroastrians, I feel like this is a really nice way to sort of personify that idea of the Zervan dualism. I've played through all 6 games, can't wait for Gear 6. If you've played through all 6 games, wouldn't it be Gear 7, or was there a spin-off at some point?
We have to get out of here.
Fine.
Or do they do what Assassin's Creed does, and each number is a different series? I've only made it through a couple of games. I've only ever 100%ed in one game. But it was Spiritfarer, so not really the same.
An angry god and a crazy woman.
Hey Alex, welcome to the stream. It's going pretty good.
All right.
It's going pretty good.
One of these things to be
Throat sore, but that's fine. We're powering through it. It's been sore for days. If you listen to the podcast on Monday, it's rough. I sound rough. Worse than I am now. But we're playing it. Keep thinking. I look at the screen and I'm like, we're playing Assassin's Creed. We're not playing Assassin's Creed. We're playing Prince of Persia. Alex got a new sofa that sat in my hall waiting to be popped into the front room. Front door is inaccessible. Did you try pivoting the sofa? Okay, here's our map. Here's our map. These lands are locked. You will need to activate a power at the temple before you can reach them. Power plates can be activated at the temple when Elika has enough light seeds. You need to choose a destination. Okay. Use that to highlight your chosen destination. We will start... Oh, I forget which one's which. I think this is the one that I like. So let's start here. Now that you've set a destination, you can exit the map by pressing that. Okay. There was a spin-off that was vastly different playstyle. I guess there's a 7th with Gears Tactics, which is the second spin-off. That's an isometric turn-based game. I hate it when game series do that. They're like, oh, we're gonna have another, like, even the Assassin's Creed series does the same thing. It's like, we're gonna have our games, which are third-person games, open-world games, and then we're also going to have these side-scrollers that if you want the whole story, you have to play them. The sofa is too big for the door. I'm gonna be taking the window out in the morning. Okay, that works. At least you have a way of getting it in. I haven't played all the way through Tactics, though, unfortunately. Oh man, I thought I was awake, but I'm tired again. One day my insomnia will be back, and I can join for more of the stream. One day, I will have a stream that caters to Europeans. I know I keep saying that every single stream. I had to extend the project that I'm working on, so I'm still working 9 to 5s, which means I can't stream during the day. But hopefully in the next few months I'm going to have a more accessible stream. We'll see. But I also want to do more of what we did 2 weeks ago, which was talk to people. And I want to talk to you guys as well, like have a full-out interview conversation type thing.
They ruled here 1,000 years ago.
So I just got to figure out a way to schedule it in. But with work, plus this, plus TikTok, plus podcasts, I'm swamped. I'm swamped. I have no time to do things. Okay. Help me over this gap, please. Thank you. Ah, so nice. And it just goes. It just goes. Oh, so good. This way. No worries, sadly, when you had the wrong hour stream, I was visiting my family and I couldn't really watch it. That's fine. Well, I'll work on it, and if I can stream more often and more stuff, then obviously I'll have them all at different times as well. So, see, look at this. It's like inky and it's black and it reaches for you when you walk too close to it. Oh, love the character design, even though it's just background. And yes, that freeze that you just saw was on purpose. That was making sure that I pushed the button before falling off the wall. Right? It's just little things like that. And then eventually, once you know what buttons to push, and you know what distances you can cover and stuff like that, you feel it. You feel it. Good night, Helga. I'll see you hopefully on the next one. If not, I will see you on TikTok tomorrow, where I'm still going to be talking about this. See, that one I messed up a little bit. But this game is very, very forgiving, which I'm so thankful for.
Where are we now?
It's part of the royal palace.
And that
You lived here?
is how you get
Just
out.
you and your father?
Most of the people who remained lived here.
Most of the
First,
people,
the veil was abandoned.
24-hour
The
stream?
citadel fell into decay.
Yeah, who was there for the 24-hour stream? No, 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 no. Alex won't be staying long because busy day, but bugger off, there's something I'd like your stance on. Give me a minute though, typing it out. Yeah, sure, take your time. I mean, you're the one that's leaving. I'm here. I will take your time. Yeah, who could possibly stay through an entire 24-hour stream? And that color change, also on purpose. That was a reminder that I'm about to fall, so I need to do something that's going to help me. I'm considering getting back into streaming. At least I'm going to build more Lego now that I'm feeling a bit better. That's so exciting. If you guys didn't watch Helga Sanchez's stream, which, because they were during the day, I had to watch them on my phone. So I didn't see who else was in there. But they're like super cozy and a lot of fun. So if you watched Helga Sanchez's stream, if you start doing it again, let me know. Let the Discord know. We'll stop by. I think it was there for 60% of the 24-hour. Yeah, I'm mostly making fun of taters when I say that because they made the mistake of staying just the whole time. I think there was a 20-minute break there, but thank goodness they stayed the whole time and kept me company. And Kayla was there for a little bit too. I don't know if Kayla's here right now, but. No, never Discord. No, I meant let my Discord. Let me know, and I will let the Discord know, and then we will all join you. I messed that up. And the game gave me time to save it. I love this game so much. Oh my goodness. And there's no fall damage. Messed that up too. Had time to save. Where am I going? Where am I going? I'm going that way. Did I go the wrong way? Okay. Let's try again.
Hey! Ready.
I know you guys can hear the music, but I love the music for this so much that I'm humming along because I can't hear it. See, there's just these long stretches of like parkour and stuff, so you know where to go. And you just have time to just feel it out and just enjoy the environment. Okay, let's get back up here, and and then we'll figure out which way we're gonna go. Okay. Still that way. Okay. Man, watching this makes me want to play it, but it's the only Prince of Persia game not available on the export. It's not available on the Xbox store right now. How did I? Because I originally played this on Xbox. Oops. I originally played this on Xbox, but I'm trying to think. I think I had a pirated copy of it. I'm watching somebody play God of War right now, and ooh, the music in that game is incredible. God of War, I don't know the music from God of War. That's something I gotta look into. That's something I gotta learn more about. I have a feeling, okay, this way. Oh yeah, here's the garden that I gotta go to. Perfect. Oh no, it was an illusion!
Top ground is clear. Princess?
Can't move. It's the concubine she...
Oh, this is the concubine. Okay.
Does it hurt?
If the stream stops, it's because this character is very suggestive.
Hang in there. I'll stop her.
But after this is cleared up, after this area is cleared up, it is a very nice area, and there's a fun backstory to it. It's Bear McCreary doing the newest God of War. If you know anything about McCreary, he tells you everything you need to know. I don't know anything about him. I've probably heard Bear McCreary's work at some point. I just, for the life of me, cannot remember. Where am I going? Okay.
Hurry!
Nope, that was the wrong way. I gotta go this way. See, in other video games, I'd have to like aim my landing and stuff and do like a million impossible things in the air. But here, it's just... Am I still in the wrong place? I am still in the wrong place. How did that happen? Alika saved me even though she's trapped. Thank you, Alika. How do I get up there? Get there. Can I get there? How do I get there? Oh, I gotta go that way. Okay. Figuring it out. Figuring it out. Third time's the charm while I figure it out. That looked like too far of a jump. With this, you don't need to aim, you don't need to... Well, you do need to time a little bit, but... Oh no, she was fake! Now she's over there! Okay, I know I've been up there, I just gotta remember how to get there.
Try again.
Bear McCreary is up there with Ludwig Göransson. For me, he's incredible. Okay, I will have to check out some of his work. As y'all know, I listen to so much video game music during my day, just because it's not as distracting as the other music I listen to, and I can get some work done. So, Bear McCreary, God of War soundtrack, I will add it to my list. Working through LEGO Star Wars, still not 100% done with it.
Oh, good.
She was
Another
fake.
illusion.
Working through LEGO Star Wars, still 100% done with every planet, making my way through the capital ships right now, and they're a lot less fun than I thought. Halfway through them within a 2-hour session. That's good. That's pretty good. Yeah, the capital ships, they're not, like, doing the tasks in the capital ships are not that annoying. It's navigating the capital ships that I just do not like. And they can be, it's when you get down to, like, the last one or two things and they're, like, behind a wall, that's when it stops being fun for me, but, yeah, it's easy. It is a kid's game after all, right? Oop. She was fake the whole time.
That's the thing with life. It's so confusing. You think you know where you are, then
True story, concubine.
everything changes.
Think you know where you are, and then everything
Brave
changes.
her, don't you? But all she has in her heart is purpose. She serves her people. She serves all mine.
True story, concubine.
She has no space left in her for you.
The Halo soundtracks are beautiful and, in my opinion, a bit weird because they often have like electric guitars playing alongside the whole orchestra. I really liked the Halo 3 soundtrack when I was in high school. I thought that was like, and I like the orchestra and the electric guitar combination. I'm a huge fan. Also, Tyler Bates' 300. Why are you showing me the button colors? I don't know where the buttons are. Okay.
Protect yourself.
Maybe I should. Oh, I saw somebody on TikTok putting a sticky note on their screen with the button colors and their position. Maybe I should try that so I know where the buttons are. Green. Got it. I got it. I went to, what was it? I went to a panel about rescoring way back in the day. And it was the people from Trailer Park. Do you guys know Trailer Park? Trailer Park is that website where they take movies and they make trailers for them in genres of the movie is not. So like take a romance movie and turn it into a horror movie. And they were talking about how they rescore these things to make them work. And they hated on Tyler Bates in that panel. I think 300 had just come out, and I'd been listening to the soundtrack nonstop. And they're like, yeah, Tyler Bates is terrible. Like, why would you put electric guitar and rock music in this movie about Spartans fighting Persians? And I'm like, you understand that, you understand that this is not a movie about Spartans fighting Persians. This is about propaganda and making people look cool, right? The plot of the movie is, this is the story that the blind man tells in order to like reassure the Spartans that they're cool, right? It's an unreliable narrator, and it's a comic book movie. Like, is a tad loud, struggling to hear you properly. I think I turned myself down too. Let's fix that. My problem is you can't. Okay. Because I have the fan going, so I need to like be louder than the fan. Okay, let's see if that works. But I mean, look at the levels. Levels seem okay while I'm talking. Okay, let me know if that works for you. So it's like, yeah, Tyler Bates did exactly what he was supposed to do in that soundtrack, which is make this story seem extraordinarily badass, right? Make this story more badass than it has any right to be. Because that's what it was, right? It wasn't until Lord of the Rings that the film music was expected to sound like it should come from the world of the film. Before that, it was free-for-all. Yeah, exactly, right? The music is there to enhance the mood. Lord of the Rings and Harry Potter and stuff. And new Star Wars, not old Star Wars, but new Star Wars, they're like, the music needs to enhance your engagement. It needs to make you feel like you're a part of it, right? Whereas old Star Wars is, you need to feel what this movie is feeling. And it doesn't matter how you accomplish that, right? Sorry, I forgot I had to tap it repeatedly. See, this is what I like. I want to bring this game into my classroom and like, hey kids, when we're talking about our religion, imagine this. Yeah. Oh no! Oh no! My brother's at the Disney outlet. Do I want anything? Oh, yes. Oh, the Doctor Strange hoodies are on clearance. They're $20. I'm getting one. I'm getting one. I'm getting one. For sure. Star Wars shirt is $11. Um, what is this? Passport? Oh snap! Oh snap! My brother went to get his. He brought his passport. I didn't think he brought his passport. Tell him to get me one too. We have Canada Post. It will cost 4 times as much to send it to you. um, da, 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 da. Oh, Alex sent a picture in the Discord. Hold on. That is. Oh yeah, that's not gonna fit. I didn't realize that there were stairs in front of your front door. That's definitely not gonna fit. What else happened? Something else happened that I was supposed to check. My parents said something. Okay. The answer is yes. You want the BB-8 Christmas decoration. I don't want the BB-8 Christmas decoration. I got Hallmark's Star Wars Christmas ornament set for Christmas. But I don't have a tree. And I don't have a lot of places where I can put... Oops. Sometimes this happens. Sometimes you would get in the flow and you push the wrong button. I don't have a tree, so I don't have anywhere to put the ornaments. I gave them to my brother so he can put them on his tree. Since I celebrate with him anyway, should I get more seeds? I'm gonna get more seeds. Hold on. Also, I know I'm not in the character skin right now, but this is my next. This character is my next big cost plan. Not the character that I'm playing as, but the character that I'm supposed to be playing as. Specifically this Prince of Persia. And that's going to involve getting super duper ripped and sewing a bunch of leather. So, actually, can I change it mid-game? I can't. Okay. Maybe if this game takes more than one stream, then I'll show you. But I really want to cosplay this character. So get super ripped, sew leather, and then also find a girl that wants to hold my hand. And that should be enough to get the cosplay going. And I know last time I was on stream and I said I was going to cosplay something, that didn't end up happening. But I think it's a good reason that stopped happening is Disney stopped selling the Nazi uniforms. So it's good that I couldn't get my hands on one that was my size. Because it means that Disney stopped selling them. They're learning and they're growing. Which is all we can ask for, really. Okay. Are there more seeds? There are always more seeds. Let's get some more seeds. So when I went to Galaxy's Edge, after I said I was gonna cosplay DJ, I went and they had one of the uniforms left in the entire park. And it wasn't my size, so I asked them, hey, are you getting more of these in? And they're like, no, these have been canceled. These have been discontinued. Okay. The Empire uniform, the First Order uniform. They used to have First Order uniforms that you could buy there. But those are not good things to have because they're based on Nazi uniforms. So they thankfully stopped carrying them. Big message from Alex. I really don't get the people who think franchise music can't evolve. Doctor Who is a prime example. We had the same composer from 2005 to 2017, and the guy who replaced him is completely different and more ambient, and people complained and moaned that he wasn't as bombastic and obnoxious. It was the guy from the Lego Star Wars game, who's also from the movie, but you're right, I was going to do the Lego version, which is First Order uniform, ill-fitting First Order uniform, and a giant brick separator. The jury is still out on the giant brick separator. I just need to find somebody that can print it for me affordably. And then I'll get that too. Alex, I completely agree. I'm confused about why people are complaining about that with Doctor Who. Because Doctor Who, as a show, evolves. Not just because it's been going on for like a bajillion years, but that's like a central plot point of the show, is that it changes over time. So why can't the music also change over time? Mickey Stuffies. I don't want any Mickey Stuffies. What else? Wishables. No, I don't want any Wishables. I can't do blind bags anymore. Shopping. Shopping and streaming at the same time. Oh, how it lines up. What is that? How do I get that one? How do I get those ones? Okay, let's try to get that one. I can. Maybe I can climb up that wall. Let's see. Oh, there's little dandelions. That's cute. Taters collects mugs if he's taking orders. He's sending pictures of what's in the outlet. And no mugs yet. We need to find a different Lego video game character for the giant brick separator. Yeah, if I can find one. I don't know. Oh no, I can't think of any right now. There's even more up here. Okay. Oh, I can get to these two. Okay. Da, 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 da. No. No, that can't be right. That can't be right. There's got to be another way. Okay, we'll try to get that one. If I die, I die. Can't die in the game. But that's so far away. Okay. Okay. All right. Fingers crossed. Let's see if we can get this one. No, 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 no. Okay. I was too high up on the pole. I see that. Let's go a little bit lower on the pole. Okay. Try it. No. Okay. Oh, I don't know how to get that. Adel needs to be posting these pics to the Discord. He's posting them to the brothers group chat. So, it's all good. It's all good. Need to get my hands on some new Disney mugs. Recently removed 3 or 4 mugs from the cupboard because they made my tea taste a little turfy. Oh, I get it. I get it. It's that kind of turfy. Okay, that's fair. That's fair if you want to do that. before this whole thing happened, I got a bunch of like cauldrons and bowls and stuff. But the problem is I really like using them, even though they're branded. So I'm trying to figure out how to get rid of the branding so I can still keep them. Because I'm that kind of person. There was... Nope, that didn't work. There was a video that was trending on TikTok a few days ago that was like, there's a plot point in Harry Potter that, like, you have a plot hole that you hate in Harry Potter. What is it? And people were like stitching it with their particularly annoying plot holes. And I have it saved because I wanted to stitch it and be like, there were 7 movies and 8 books, or 7 books and 8 movies about embracing who you are on the inside, no matter what other people say. And everybody is special and deserving of love. And love is the most powerful magic of all. And plot twist, it was written by a racist TERF. 10-year-old me didn't see that coming. It's so sad our Disney store closed. Yeah, R.I.P. North American Disney stores. Alfred and Alex are just like, or I don't know if Alfred is in the UK, but Alex and William are like, hey, we still have our Disney stores. I'm like, ugh, gross. Pedantic capitalism. Yeah. I don't, because like, you see the people from the other political party who are like, oh, Nike or whatever has a spokesperson that is black, so I'm going to destroy my Nikes. And I'm like, that doesn't affect Nike because you've already given them the money, right? So if me destroying my cauldrons doesn't hurt the other person, then I'm just going to use them because I like them. Racist, ableist, transphobic author. I wish there was just like one word. I know it's an author, but whatever. Oh, the Lifestay stuff is on sale. Tree. Okay. I don't actually have my Disney store. It closed. Yours closed too? Oh, dang. Bigoted author? That's not very specific, though. I mean, yeah. I think I got a comment on my video about systemic versus interpersonal racism. I should probably figure out where I'm going, first of all. I got a comment on that video where somebody's like, yeah, I just use bigot for interpersonal racism. And I'm like, well, what about all of the other bigotries that exist? Are those not... Do you not do those? Oh, I'm back in the main area. Okay, let's do the City of Light. Let's go there next. Which way do we go? Back the way we came. Thank you, Alika. They have the Hogwarts crest on them. Yeah, so if they have that, then like, sure, because you don't want to be reminded. Mine just have the branding of the theme park on the bottom, so I don't see it when I'm using it. And I'm like, yeah, it's fine. If my mugs were just witchy and magical, I'd keep them. Exactly. Maybe invest in some cauldrons. My brother got me a cauldron mug as well that has the crest embossed on it. So I can't get rid of the crest without it breaking the mug. So I'm just like, okay, I'm just not. This goes in the back of the closet. I'm not going to use it. I mean, there is a word. It starts with a C, contains a U and an N and a T too. It's not quaint. Quaint has a Q in it. Let me know if you figure out what that word is. It's one word, descriptor, multiple apply, but yeah, not great as a general term because of the lack of the specificity, yeah. But also the thing is, in my video, I was talking specifically about interpersonal versus systemic racism. But interpersonal versus systemic bigotry is totally like a general thing that needs to be addressed. And in hindsight, my video could have been about that instead. It's just the comment said racism, so I was talking about racism. I think I have the same one, the cauldron. It came with a lid and a spoon. It is from that same line. I think it's the Walmart one. Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. Does that have all those letters? I'm not going to double check. What were the letters we were looking for? Califragilistic. It's got a T. Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious does not have an N. So it's not that word. It's missing an N. There you go. Got it at the same time. Ooh, story. Also, going back to the religious part, this game portraying Ahriman as a lesser being than Ormazd, and Ormazd being like this unseen force is like super critical in Mazdaean Zoroastrianism. Not Zervan Zoroastrianism, which is what I was talking about before, but Mazdaean Zoroastrianism, which is the idea that the reason the universe exists. So the Zervan one is the reason the universe exists is because light is battling dark, and the universe that we live in is the battlefield of light and dark, which is what this game is talking about. Mazdaean Zoroastrianism presupposes the light. The light is, I guess, the god, if you want to use that terminology. But the light is the natural state of being, whereas darkness is infringing upon the light and needs to be taken care of. How do I get? Can I go up? Ooh, I can climb this. Okay, cool. Xbox is confusing me right now. They have two styles, two series Elite controller. The only difference is one has a white core and the other is entirely black. Do they do different things? The black one is the original price of $180, but the white one is only $130, and as far as I can tell, the color is the only difference. So that's probably just a supply and demand thing, is that they weren't selling as many of the white ones as they projected, so they just reduced the price. That's probably what that is, if there's no difference. But obviously look at the specs and see if there is, a difference. Okay. Here comes the rock monster. Look at him. Look at his left arm. Such good character design. I love this so much. Look at the little spirals on his arm. The warrior cannot be harmed with swords and magic. Use the environment to defeat him. I think I remember this. I need to dodge. Okay. I think I remember how to dodge. Yep, that's how you dodge. Okay. Maybe after the dialogue stops? Okay, that did nothing. What if I hang out at the edge? Also, Altair looks very injured right now. The way that he's standing. I know that in the original skin, no, I didn't dodge in time. In the original skin, he's not wearing a shirt and his arm is armored. So, oops, that didn't work. And it's oh, I know what I need to do. Okay, I figured it out. Go like that. And then push him off the edge. Yes! Push him off the edge. 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 Yes! I figured it out. Oh, yeah, buddy. Yes! My Toronto just came out. Oh yeah, dog. All right. Don't know why you just reminded me. What do you think of Miss Marvel show depicting Camila as a djinn? From what I can tell, it's sacrilegious to depict jinn in that way, but I'm not 100%. Because not very Muslim. So that's fine that you're not Muslim. Who is, right? It's not like it's the largest religion in the world as of like earlier this year. But, so, how do I want to go about this? So in Islam and in pre-Islamic religions and Islamic adjacent religions, there are three sentient beings. These are beings that are responsible in their actions to God. That's like their defining characteristic. Animals, not responsible to God. Plants, not responsible to God. But these three species are responsible to God, and that's what makes them better than everyone else in Islamic mythology. That's the people. That's us. That's the angels, who are made of scorchless fire, fire that doesn't burn things. And there are the jinn, who are made of scorching fire, fire that does burn things. Destructive fire. Right? And I've made a video about this on TikTok because the Keeg show was talking about genies he was talking about genies in the context of Aladdin. So we have different souls. Again, this is an Islamic mythology, and it's not particularly what I believe, just as a disclaimer. I'm just explaining it because I have to do that sometimes. So, can I get these ones? Angel like raging fire, jinn like smoldering fire. Maybe I wouldn't call an angel a raging fire, but if that's the way you want to think about it, then sure. If that's what helps you. And so the whole fall of Satan and stuff was like, oh, we're angels, we're made out of fire, we're not going to bow down to somebody that's made out of dirt, and then he got kicked out of heaven. Same like in Christianity, the fall of Satan. So to have someone, so the belief in the genies, in the jinn, is that there are these unseen beings that affect your life in malicious ways because they can. And so depicting a human as a jinn would be really insulting to that person. So it's fine that, like, for a fictional character, but to call a real life person a jinn would be like super duper insulting. But having a jinn in a story disguised as a human person, that's fine. I think that's fine. I think I've talked about this before, but my actual beef with Miss Marvel is the second explanation that they gave for her powers. So, Camilla Khan thinking that she's a jinn and being freaked out that she's a jinn, totally realistic for Muslims, right? I've met people, grown-ups and children, who are like terrified that there is a jinn inside of them, terrified that there is a jinn in their food, in their water, on their prayer mat, etc., and so forth. It depends on the context in which you're raised, obviously, but for a lot of people, the fear of jinn is a legitimate fear. And as such, I've learned how to do exorcism, so if anyone's feeling a little bit jinny, let me know. But, so that first explanation of, oh no, I'm a jinn and that's bad, I think that's fine within, like, Islamic belief. That's fine. The second explanation, which was, we are Nur, and we are from the Nur dimension, that was the explanation that I like the most, because that comes from Islamic cosmology, right? The idea that behind a veil of this world, and I like that they use the term veil to describe it as well, there is a realm of Nur, right? And in that, and the goal, not just of the people of the show, but people who believe in this specific cosmology, the goal of people is to return to that realm of Nur, right? Because our souls come from that realm of Nur. Why did it flash Elika on the screen? Oh, I need to go somewhere. Okay. Because our souls come from that realm of Nur, and the desire of the soul is to return to that realm. I'm gonna I think I'll just finish these ones. These little sections. So that, I like that explanation. I like the idea of there is an actual realm of Nur, and it's not just like a metaphor that the soul is yearning to return to, and like sacrifices must be made to return to that. I love that. I feel like making her a mutant, I know what they're doing with the MCU and with the continuity and stuff, but making her a mutant is like, but you erased actual Islamic mythology to get to that conclusion. Like, why would you do that? You've already changed so much. Why not change one more thing? Reminds me of Gremlins. Insert cheap nostalgia bait music cue here in order to convey exposition without bothering to actually explain it to people who wouldn't understand it. That's that cue. It's inherent meaning. Does that happen? Has that happened to you, Alex? Has somebody cued nostalgia bait music so that they don't have to explain something? I guess they did that in Star Wars, in the new Star Wars. But that's not how the Force works. But yeah. So that's basically it. And that's, a lot of that is what we're seeing in this game as well. As we go and collect these light seeds. Nur just means light. So the idea, again, it comes from Mazdaean Zoroastrianism that, yes, we have our 4 dimensions of like space and time, but we also have a 5th dimension of our being, which is how much Nur we have. And in the case of this game, I have 58 out of 60 Nur. So I'm almost divinely perfect. I am now divinely perfect. According to Zoroastrianism in the world of this video game. Now I have 61 out of 60 Nur. I was specifically thinking Miss Marvel with the X-Men TV show theme. Oh, did they play the theme when she said that? I did not even notice. I know they played the theme in Multiverse of Madness. They played the X-Men theme, they played the WandaVision theme, and I thought those were like nice motifs. It worked in Doctor Strange because that theme was actually tied to that version of Charles, but Camilla has no connection to that theme at all. Yes, that was just audience bait. I like what they're doing in the MCU shows, where they are very, very aware of their audience. They've done that, in my recollection, they've done that now 3 times, which I think is just so cool. They done that in Miss Marvel, and it was really subtle and kind of stupid. So let me explain where I'm coming from with that when it comes to the MCU TV shows. Example 1, they played that theme song in Miss Marvel because I guess people noticed it. I didn't notice it, but I guess people noticed it. And because they know the audience would connect that music to the idea of being a mutant, right? And they did the same thing in Multiverse of Madness, obviously. And then there were 2 more examples I was thinking of. Yes, WandaVision, when they recast Boner as Quicksilver, right? Plot twist of the century. Disney didn't have to do anything to convince us that was Quicksilver. Convince us as the audience, right? And all the fan theories were going around, and all the explanation videos and stuff were going around, and the fans were going crazy, because as long as the audience believes that's Quicksilver, then Wanda can believe that that's Quicksilver, right? recast Pietro. That was a fantastic line. Yeah. Yeah, they done that with Miss Marvel. Yeah. So the fact that we outside the TV show recognize that as Pietro, recognize that as Quicksilver, means that the show doesn't have to do any work to convince us, and the show doesn't have to do any work to convince Wanda that that's her brother, because the audience already believes it, right? That's such a good. It's such a good writing trick. Such a good writing trick. And then obviously She-Hulk is the other example of that, where the whole show was a conversation with the audience, and the fact that they pulled that off and had such an accurate and detailed conversation with an audience and predicted how the audience would react and what the audience would say, sometimes down to the sentence, was just fantastic. It was absolutely fantastic. So I love that new Marvel is playing to the audience, right? When they do that, it's so cool. And not to get all English nerd on y'all, but that's when we look at the early days of theater, whether it's ancient Greece all the way up to Shakespeare, that's what happened as well when you see those. This is why I don't like reading plays, because you have to read plays in school. It's better to actually watch them. Because so much of these older plays are based on what does the audience think, what does the audience already know, and for Shakespeare especially, how does the audience react? Because the audience would actually interact with the people on stage and be like, don't go there, or like, throw a tomato, right? It's so cool. It's so cool that our television is doing that now and interacting with the audience and giving us this experience. It's like they actually care about us. I know they don't because it's Disney, but it feels like they do, and it's nice. Sorry, there's long comments and they got pushed off the screen. Also depicted Daredevil more accurately than the Daredevil show, and yet of course added the dude bros moan about it. Yes, the She-Hulk writer's ability to predict what the audience would say about certain moments in their show is just chef's kiss. It's just amazing. Also, if that person is athletic and jumping far to be on your back, why do they bother jumping on your back? She's not jumping because she's athletic. She's jumping because she's magical. Right? It's because she's magic. And you can't use up all the magic. That's why we're collecting the light seeds, so that she has more magic. So she's conserving her magic. Reading plays is just terrible. It just shows a recording of the play and then talk about the play. Yes. I, like you all know, I have an English degree, and in that, literally needs more spell slots. She doesn't right now. She has 63 out of 60 filled, but you know what I mean. But like the ancient theater classes, the Shakespeare classes, all that stuff, so boring when you read them. It wasn't until I took a Shakespeare class where watching Shakespeare was part of my grade. I had to go to local Shakespeare plays to get a grade, and I watched it. I watched King Lear, and just watching it, I understood everything. Didn't have to reread, didn't need translations, didn't need cultural references, didn't know anything about King Lear going into it. I understood every single moment of it because it was performed, right? And so get back to class, have to read 50 more plays, and I'm reading them. I went completely the wrong way, and I'm reading them as if they're being performed in my head. I'm reading them out loud as if they're being performed, and that helps so much of just getting through it. That's because the Dude Bros have an idea of Daredevil separate from the actual Daredevil. The Daredevil show used that idea instead of the actual one. I see a similar one with the Book of Boba Fett. Yes. this is my beef with all fan communities, is that if you have expectations about what a character is, you're gonna be disappointed. Doesn't matter if the character is good or bad or ugly. If you have expectations going in before the story is told, you're gonna have a bad time, 100% of the time. I remember spending 3 months slowly reading Romeo and Juliet, like 3 pages of the play a week, and it was tedious, and it wasn't until I watched the film version of it that it clicked. Did you watch the Leonardo DiCaprio version? Because that's such a good version. My high school teacher let us watch a movie of the plays we read. For that reason, people seriously underestimate the value of performing Shakespeare. Yes. Shakespeare, if I ever have to teach Shakespeare in my life, I will never, ever, ever make my students read Shakespeare. Never, ever, ever. Because it just ruins it. And you don't learn anything about the history. You don't learn anything about the writing of it. You don't learn anything about comedy in general or playwriting in general. If you read Shakespeare, you need to see it performed. Boba Fett wasn't even a character until the show. He may not be a good character, but he is a character. Wasn't even a character? Yeah, I think it was the DiCaprio one. The one that I like about the DiCaprio one is it is line for line the Shakespeare play. So if you're watching a movie to study Shakespeare, watch the Leonardo DiCaprio version because it's the original dialogue. They don't modernize it. They modernize for the late 90s everything else. Their swords are guns with pictures of swords on them. But the dialogue is not modernized, and I think that makes it sort of probably one of the better renditions of Shakespeare on film. So many 90s cartoons episodes were barely veiled Shakespeare as filler. Yeah, because Shakespeare's easy. There was Legends content, but most Legends content, it was very contradictory. It was just a blank sheet of paper on a screen until the show. There was, I don't know if y'all follow Evo is Confused. Evo, she's one of my really early mutuals that talks about like Lego and Bionicle and stuff like that. She just made a video not too long ago about about Boba Fett's ship, and that it's changed from Slave One to Boba Fett's starship, or the manufacturing name is what they use now, right? I don't remember what the manufacturing name is, but they changed it to that. And she says that it's about Boba Fett growing from a bad person to a good person, that he doesn't employ figuratively a slave anymore, which is fine. I think that's a fine interpretation. I'm going the wrong way again, dang it. But the way I see it is Boba Fett was the slave. Fire Spray is the manufacturing name. Thank you. I also remember seeing a rendition of Macbeth with James McAvoy that was set in the kitchen or something. Can't remember what it's called. I gotta look that up. I still have not read or seen Macbeth. I know literature is like my job or whatever, my career, but I have not read or seen Macbeth outside of The Lion King. So I will look for the James McAvoy version when I get around to it. Okay, I'm going to see if I can get to... If I slide down this wall, I can go to the side. Yes, that worked. Okay. So, my interpretation of Boba Fett is that his name is not Slave One anymore because he is not a slave anymore. When we see Boba Fett in, not the holiday special, but in the Origin Tridge and in Clone Wars, and in Attack of the Clones, I guess, he is, for all intents and purposes, a slave. He is... First, he is a slave, a literal slave, because he is a clone built by other people to serve a purpose. Sure, it's not the same purpose as the other clones, but he does not have autonomy over his own life. So he is a slave. When we see him in Clone Wars, he is consumed by this notion of revenge for his father's death. So he is a slave to revenge. He does not have autonomy over his actions because all of his actions need to be towards revenge against Mace Windu. And then what was the other one? When we see him in the Tridge, he is working for Jabba the Hutt, indebted to Jabba the Hutt the entire time. So his actions are, I guess, not technically a slave, but an indentured servant, where his entire motivation for the character in the Tridge is paying off this debt that he owes to Jabba the Hutt. And that's why he helps Darth Vader, and that's why he takes Han Solo and all that stuff. So the Book of Boba Fett saying this character is no longer a slave to his emotions, right? He starts off still as a slave. Still as a slave. This time a slave to his pain, right? He is a slave to his injuries and the fact that he's lost everything, so he's trying to rebuild up. It isn't until the end of the show, or like midway through the show, that he is in charge of his own actions, that he is in charge of his own life. So when I see the ship is no longer called Slave One, that's what I'm thinking of, is that the ship is no longer called Slave because the owner is no longer a slave. Still miffed that they killed all the Tuskens off screen. Yeah, me too, but they're indigenous people. What are you gonna do? Yeah. It would have been nice to have him sort of like grow and graduate and find his way back to the life that he wants from the Tuskens, and then be able to call on the Tuskens later on in the story for their help, right? Maybe even in the finale. Call on the Tuskens in the finale and be like, hey, family, you've helped me so much. I need your help one more time, blah, 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 blah. I feel like that would be a lot better long-term for that story. But I also get murdering the family off screen is a great way to provide incentive to a character when you don't want to write that incentive yourself. And yes, we don't have a name for the Slave One on screen. We also don't have names for a lot of stuff in Star Wars, like the Ewoks. Or even, I don't even think the Rancor is named until the show. Maybe it is. I don't remember. The only reason any of these things have names is to sell toys. And that's what I talked about that's what I thought about when I was scripting today's video. Because in the Prince of Persia game, in this game, this prince doesn't have a name. And I think that's neat. I don't think characters need names in order to be good characters. And this is an example of one, right? In any of the series, the prince doesn't have a name, but they gave him a name for the movie because having a name that you can trademark means it's a lot better for toy sales, right? You got to name everything that has a toy. So in my video today, I was like, in the Prince of Persia movie, the prince shouldn't have a name, right? Just as like a tiny thing. What do you call an Ewok magician? I don't know. They could have easily been in the finale, have Boba leading them Tuskens while riding on the bank of the Rancor. That's what I'm saying. That would have been so impactful. How cool would it have been? Easily kill a couple of them, save the tribe leader, have Boba inherit that position. Yes, I think that would have been cool too if the tribe leader had died, and Boba is the one that they all rally around to get their tribe back in order. No, never mind. As I'm saying that out loud, I think that's a bad idea. That's the white savior. I know he's not white, but that's the white savior. They also drained him of all the melanin for the movie too. I they also drained him of all the melanin. I was confused of whether we were talking about Boba Fett or Prince of Persia. Like Boba Fett, no, they added the melanin. They added the melanin, 5 movies later. But yeah, for Prince of Persia, they removed the melanin from the entire cast. So, you get what you get. It's just white savior. Yeah, if he becomes the chief, then it's just white savior. I think an impactful way of telling that story is, I have learned all I can from these people, so with my love and with my respect, I will leave them. Right? I think that's a good way of doing it. And then, obviously not leave them forever, but like, they will help me in the finale as I ride this Rancor, because this finale is about everyone who has helped me along the way, including what's her name, Ming-Na Wen, and the Rancor, and the Vespa gang, and Mo's Vespa gang, and Black Chrysanthemum, and everybody, right? Which I don't think he was called Black Chrysanthemum in the show. I think he was just called Chrysanthemum, and Black Chrysanthemum is the comic book character. I don't remember. I'll have to rewatch the show. Ooh, more light seeds. Okay. No melanin for your movie. Chrysanthemum was so damn cool. Chrysanthemum was really damn cool. I like that character a whole bunch. Am I going the right way? I can't target the other light seeds here to track them, but I'm just gonna guess that I'm going the right way. I'll go check the credits of an episode. Sure, or like IMDb or something. Or the Star Wars website will have the show and movie canon names in it. Got options. Okay, here's some light seeds. He's a lot of fun in Lego Star Wars too. What does he do in Lego Star Wars? I don't think I've unlocked him. And if I have, I've never played as him. Does he do anything, or is he just cool to look at? Because that's fine. That's valid. And I reach the other pole from this pole. No, I can't. I'll go around. How do I get there? How do I get there? I think I do have to go down to the poles. Okay. Do. Let's try jumping, see if it works. Hey, it worked. Okay, let's climb back up here. Ooh, can I reach those ones? Can't reach those ones. That's on the exit. Okay. Basically just Chewie reskin, but he looks cool. Oh, in the Lego game. Yeah, that makes sense. Because I feel like he's a lot bigger than Chewie. So they would need to mold a new piece for him. Ad time. Thank you for the ad time. I can't redeem an ad time because I can't do anything on my computer. I bet he's not, because there are not enough consonants in that spelling of Chrysanthemum for it to be. Yeah. Says the 6-foot-tall Akil. I can't. Okay. Ads just ran, so happens. Yeah, if you were to accurately make me in Lego, you'd have to mold a new piece because of how tall I am. Or use the Woody and the Na'vi legs Because that's where most of my height is. It's in the legs. So, taters, taters, come on, come on, come on. How's your timing also wrong? I don't know. I feel like it's safer if you just stop redeeming ad times, because the last few streams you've redeemed it in a blockout period. I think I have the automatic ads running, so just don't waste your channel points on that. One of the folks I follow on Twitter for Ukraine News shared his kid's creation of them. It was a Lego dude with 2 sets of Lego legs. See, I feel like that's too tall. That's way too tall. Okay. Let's get up here, and then we'll figure out where we're going next. Oh, there's a bunch of seeds over there. Okay, I'll get them when I come back around. Thank you for the stretch. Hey Google, what's 193 centimeters in feet and inches? Okay, 6'4". Tridation check. Thank you again. Tridation check. I really want to know how Avatar is making all the money, yet not a single person is talking about it after the fact. The same reason that the first Avatar made all the money with nobody talking about it. It's a spectacle, but it doesn't. But it's not impactful. It looks very, very cool, but it sucks. Right? That's the same way Avatar made all the money. I gotta go back in? Oh no. Because Avatar, I haven't seen the second one. But Avatar it's a nothing story. It's a story that's told like, it's a story that's been told for thousands of years. And there's nothing interesting or new about the story. There's nothing new or interesting about the characters. The only thing that's interesting about Avatar is its technical stuff. That the intricacies of the language that were created, as you know, colonial as they are very interesting if you're into languages. The technical complexity of creating these environments and being able to film, they had to create brand new technology to be able to film in 3D in space while doing all the mocap stuff, right? You had James Cameron on a soundstage with a bunch of mocap people holding a mocap camera that had a screen on it with a previs so that you can see what you're filming and move the camera like a real camera in real space. That is fascinating if you are in the film industry, if you are in the VFX industry, right? It's technically good, but as a story, as something that changes who people are and changes the way people think about stuff and helps people grow, it's a nothing. It's a blank slate. So that's why everybody goes and sees it and lives in the moment, and after it's done, you don't remember it, right? And so I've heard that this one is just as much of a leap forward as the first one, which is technology-wise, which is the only reason that I thought it was being made, but everyone's talking about the culture behind it, blah, 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 blah. Like when it was blowing up on TikTok, because I'm in all those representation and cultural exploration of media and stuff, everyone on TikTok was talking about the story of Avatar, the colonialism of Avatar, the white savior of Avatar, the story of Avatar. And I'm like, nobody cares. That's not what Avatar is for. It's not meant to have a good and impactful story. It's not meant to even have an enjoyable story or like a culturally good story. That's not what Avatar is for. Avatar, the only purpose Avatar has is to make CGI better, and that's what it does. It's to advance the CGI industry, and that's what it did. That's what it continues to do. I'm behind in the chat again. It's basically just White Savior with a side of Zoe Saldana, but blue. I'd argue Guardians of the Galaxy 2 is the same thing. It's White Savior with a side of Zoe Saldana, but in green. Iman Barbarin, I read that wrong, brought up a good point with all the technology. Why couldn't they hire more disabled actors? Because they don't have to. Because that's not what the movie is about, right? It's already a struggle for it's already a struggle for Hollywood to hire overweight actors, disabled actors, ethnic actors, like actors that look ugly, I guess, right? All right, Elika, let's go back to the temple. No, I'm not going back to the temple. We are going back here. We want to go here first. We'll do all this, and then we'll go back to the temple. Show me where to go. Okay. But that's not what Avatar is for. Avatar is just for... It's not to make people feel good. It's not meant to make people feel represented. It's literally just to show off technology. Like, it's so stupid. Have you heard the story behind James Horner's score for the first movie? I haven't heard the story behind it, but I have seen Sideways' video about it, which is why it's backwards, and why they use, like, the wrong music all of the time in that movie. Okay, I am supposed to go this way. If it were a play, 90% of the appeal of Avatar lives in the stage direction. Yes. If Avatar was a play, it would be Cursed Child. That's pretty much what it is. If Avatar was a play, it would be Cursed Child, because the writing sucks. The story is unnecessary. The people who wrote it are also shitty, but the effects... the effects are why you see it. They had a singular focus, and they doubled down on it to the destruction of the story, to the destruction of the impact. They sacrificed having a good movie in terms of movie to having a good movie in terms of graphics. That's all Avatar will ever be. Cameron had this idea to make the story the most alien and unearthly thing you've ever heard. James Horner went away and spent millions of dollars doing that, showed it to James Cameron. Cameron hated him, basically told him to do it like a normal score. That explains why they ended up with a normal score. Because Avatar in Disney World, which is the most Avatar I've experienced. I've seen the first movie twice. I've seen the first movie 3 times. But the most Avatar I've experienced is from Disney World. And it is the exact same thing, right? It's placed in Animal Kingdom, and Animal Kingdom's whole story, the story of the theme park, is conservation, right? Natural conservation. That's the reason they built Animal Kingdom. That's the reason they have Animal Kingdom. So when you go to Dino Land USA, which is the worst part, every single thing that you look at, there's like cracks in the road, there's parking lines drawn on under the rides, there's like this weird sign that's falling apart, there's this, there's that, there's story in every single element of Dino Land USA. Go to the next one over, you're in Anantapur, India. There's like signs, there's graffiti, there's cracks, there's sculptures, there's animals, and you're like, what is the story? This place is a living, breathing place. It's a story. You go to the next door, you go to Harambee, Tanzania, and you're like, you see like the graffiti, the signs, the movie posters, it's all made up. And it's like, this is a real lived in place that's full of stories, and I want to explore it. And then you go to Avatar, and it's like, this is a cool effect. This is a cool effect. I'm going to wait 5 hours for this ride because it's a cool effect, right? You want to, when you get to Avatar Land, you want to book it to the rides because the land doesn't tell you anything, right? it doesn't tell you a story because Avatar, the story of Avatar doesn't matter. The story of Anandpur, India, the made-up city that Animal Kingdom takes place in, matters. The story of Harambe, Tanzania, the made-up city that Animal Kingdom takes place in, matters. The story of Dino Land USA matters for now, since they're closing it. But the story of Avatar doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Brings me back to the point I brought up earlier that you missed. I missed the point. You said you were coming. You said that you were gonna ask an important question. I completely missed it. You know that thing I mentioned I'd like your take on before. I seen someone the other day saying that the studio mandating a lack of rep for POC and LGBTQ people is equally as valid as a contribution to the movie, as the DOP really wanting a cool shot. What do you think of this? It's a very strange take, to say the least. So when you're writing, whether it's a screenplay or a book, when you learn how to write and you go to writing school, they tell you to make every single word count. Make every single word count. And make sure that every single word that you write affects the story in some way. And I feel like when it comes to movies, every decision that you make in every step of the process, yes, the words, right? Elika, we're talking about movies, okay? We'll get there when we get there. Right now we're talking about movies. Every decision that you make as a filmmaker, as an actor, as a writer, as a director of photography, as a whatever, needs to impact the film that you're making. It needs to have an effect on the film that you're making. So, if you are excluding POC from your movie, if you are excluding people with disabilities from your movie, specifically excluding them, I'm gonna ask, what's the reason? Right? And the odds are, when I ask that question, I'm gonna disagree with your decision, right? If we look at Black Elves in Rings of Power, since I just finished watching that. It's Tolkien's birthday, by the way. Happy birthday, J.R.R. Tolkien. If we're looking at Black Elves in the Rings of Power, a lot of the arguments against that were the elves are supposed to represent racial purity, right? They are supposed to be these perfect angelic beings. That's what Tolkien wrote them for, right? And I agree with that. So why should people of color be excluded from being pure? Why should people of color not be perfect, not be considered perfect, right? So if the reason is you are making a white supremacist movie, by all means exclude people of color. If in your ideal fantasy there are no people of color, then that's your decision to make, and make it with your full chest. I'm gonna disagree with you though, right? Right? Because if I'm in the position of J.R.R. Tolkien, right? If I'm in the position of J.R.R. Tolkien, and I'm like, here's a race of humanoids that is perfect, right? I'm probably not going to specify a skin color, right? Because that's not what I believe. That's not the story I want to tell, right? For some people, that's the story that they want to tell. And for those people, tell it with your full chest, right? And stand by the decisions that you make. So Tim Burton, for example, right? Tim Burton says that people of color do not fit his aesthetic. I disagree, but I'm going to let Tim Burton stand by what he says, right? And if he ends up retracting it later, then he's a loser and a coward, whatever, right? But stand by what you say. Say it with your full chest. And if what you say is bigotry, say it with your full chest. They always sit there like, I can't see myself in this movie yet. I know that when I went to go see Wakanda Forever, I didn't notice that 97% of the cast was black women. I didn't notice. I didn't notice either. Why? Because the cast of Wakanda Forever tells the story, right? Tells the story. The story is, here is a young woman who is at the lowest point in her life, right? She thinks that she failed to keep her brother alive, right? How terrible must that be? So this story is about a black woman learning to accept her mistakes and grow. So what do we see? We see other black women learning to accept their mistakes and grow. The entire cast is black women learning to accept their mistakes and grow. That's the story that it tells. The casting helps that decision, right? I missed it. I missed the seed. I gotta go back up there. Okay. Right? So that's fine. But, and this is what Nick Anger is doing on his channel, so I'll leave it to him if you want to see actual videos of this. You can also make casting decisions that don't impact the story, right? Is there a reason that, like, so I'm trying to think of, like, okay. Okay, Riz Ahmed, the bad guy from Venom. Is there a reason he needs to be a Pakistani? No. Absolutely not. Right? Is it an intentional choice to pick a Pakistani person for that role? I hope not. I hope not. I hope that the decision to cast the bad guy in Venom did not come down to race, and it was just the best decision to be made. And ideally, in my ideal world, that's the only thing that happens, right? That the race of a character or the race of an actor is not even noticed by audiences, right? It's gonna be so bad if he wasn't. If it was a different brown guy. I'm pretty sure it's him. Let me double check. Please, please, please. Yes, it was him. He was Carlton Drake. Cool. It was him. I know I've made that mistake before. I think with Sonic, where I'm like, oh, that's Riz Ahmed. And then I watched the movie and it wasn't Riz Ahmed. Black women in M'Baku being the voice of reason, every turn he is the only person thinking rationally through the entire film. Yes. So that reminds me of original Mulan, where, like, the plot of the movie was that Mulan is a rational thinker. She's a creative thinker, and as a woman, that's what makes her strong, etc., and so forth, right? Totally fine for a movie. They ruined it in the remake, but whatevs. And so, over time, we look at, like, Fitzsimmons, for example. In these shows, being intellectual, being rational, thinking about what you do before you do it, has become this feminine trait, right? And so M'Baku, who's like the big lug comedic effect in the first movie, being, hey, I can also be compassionate, I can also be empathetic, I can also be intellectual and clever and strong at the same time. Perfect. Perfect. Oops. Hamilton is a fantastic example. I don't care that the entire cast, bar King George, was POC, right? And in Hamilton, like, remakes and stuff, like, I saw Hamilton live, and what's his name? Aaron Burr was an Arab guy. Did notice. His ears stuck out funny. I did notice that. But I didn't notice his race, right? Because it doesn't have an impact on the story. And I've also seen people arguing, like, oh, the race of the people in Hamilton matter because these are all colonizing slave owners, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, no, it doesn't. Because we're not talking about these people as people. We're talking about these people as historical figures, as people who are part of the American legend, right? The only prerequisite is that they are American, except for King George. But even I think he was American in the original cast. Okay, Alakan, now we're going to go back to the temple. I know. Let's go back to the temple. M'Baku is the female gaze. I cannot agree or disagree. I don't know. I saw the female gaze guy on TikTok a while ago that just like at the camera. And now I'm confused. I don't know what the female gaze is. I'm really happy that the live Ariel is redhead because that was part of the story in the original. I wish the same had been done for The Wrinkle in Time, but the whole movie was so sad because I love the books. I haven't seen or read A Wrinkle in Time, so I can't comment on that. But the issue when it comes to representation and the issue about being intentional when it comes to casting, and The Little Mermaid is part of this, right? Does that impact the character? Does her hair, the color of her hair, impact who she is as a character? You can argue yes, because out of all of her sisters, she's like the odd one out. She's the outcast a little bit, and you can signify that by being a redhead. Sure, if you want to. Is that the only way to signify that? I'd argue no. Right? You could give her glasses. That's another way of doing that. But yeah, it all depends on like what is the story that you want to tell and how do you want to tell it. And I think in our cultural milieu, redheaded people have gone from being like socially outcast, etc., to being objects of desire, objects of coveting, right? So does having redheaded Ariel have the same impact today that it did in, what was it, 1989? I don't know. Maybe it does, maybe it doesn't. It was more about the story and how they each represented a different sea, and she was a red sea. Sure. I didn't get that from the movie, but I've heard that before. That's definitely a valid interpretation. I stand by there is no female gaze because there's basically no vacuum in Hollywood where top to bottom nobody but women get input, whereas men still have the opportunities to avoid any femme non-white input to get a thing produced. Yes. Because I feel like, so you could call M'Baku the female gaze if you're a female and that's your gaze, or you're well informed about the female gaze, I guess. Or, alternatively, do I have all the light seeds I need? Okay, hopefully this is enough. Or, alternatively, you can describe M'Baku as non-toxic masculinity, because he is very masculine without being toxic, right? I feel like that's also a valid way to describe it. It was more the story about how they represented each different sea. If I remember rightly, they had auditioned thousands of people for Little Mermaid, and the fact that they settled on Halle Bailey after auditioning thousands basically proves that the bigots are wrong by default. Yeah, but tell the bigots that. They're not going to accept that. They're going to say, get the best actor, get the best actress, get the best person for the role. And then when you get the best person for the role, they're not going to agree. Because it's a dog whistle. In A Wrinkle in Time, the series, the fact that everyone in the family for generations had a red hair gene is an integral part of the story. Bingo. Bingo. Okay. Which power do we want first? I forget what the powers are. I'm going to go to blue. Enter the fertile grounds in the City of Light in the Royal Palace. Okay, which one's City of Light again? I want... Sorry, that's the one I want. I want this one because I like this setting the most out of all of them. So we're gonna start with blue. See, this is what I need for the cosplay. I need someone that wants to hold my hands. I suppose they could have found a different way to explain the Red Sea thing. Yeah, especially because it doesn't hold up for the other sisters. Did I? Oh, I was supposed to tap repeatedly. Okay. Did I already get this one? Okay, let's try this one now. Okay. I was supposed to tap E repeatedly. I messed up. Yeah. Yep. I'm pro BIPOC way, like redhead genes exist in multiple races. Yeah, you're talking to somebody that has blue eyes. Yeah, these genes exist in other people too. Okay, where's this power play at? Oh, yeah. Okay. But also, she's a mermaid. She doesn't have human genes, right? So, for Wrinkle in Time, I get that. That's important. For Little Mermaid, not important. He's securing in masculinity, not afraid to open up to Sherry and console her and comfort her in her darkest moment. Yes, that's the definition of non-toxic masculinity. You love to see it. I think Bandit or Lucky from Bluey are similarly accept goals models of masculinity. I still haven't seen Bluey. I know. I've just finished Rings of Power. I need to finish Willow, and then I can watch everything else that's on my list. Oh my goodness. I mean, she can't have the genes. She doesn't have the legs. Yeah, exactly. How do you expect a mermaid to have human genes when they don't have human legs? The jean jackets. I guess she could wear jean jackets. Jean jacket. Or a jean skirt. But it would just get soggy. Yeah, and it'll shrink too. She'll cut off circulation in her hands. You can't wear jeans in the ocean, they'll shrink. Okay, I don't know where I'm going. Okay, let's go here. No, let's start on this side. I love M'Baku because he introduced it in a very toxic masculine way, only for that to be flipped on its head. Yes, don't judge a book by its cover is always a good lesson to learn. It's always good. Is it soggy if water is their natural environment? So water is a natural environment for the mermaids, but it's not a natural environment for genes. So I think they would be considered soggy. Oh no, the tree of Gondor has fallen. Okay. Go back to where we're supposed to go. So yeah, I think the genes would be soggy. Yeah. I think, like, M'Baku, and I'd have to rewatch the first movie to say this for sure, but I feel like M'Baku is, like, tough when he needs to be, but also kind when he needs to be and funny when he needs to be, and right, he embodies multiple characteristics that are totally realistic to have at the same time. So M'Baku in the first movie was fantastic up to the third act. You think he's basically a secondary villain until he says, "I'm just kidding, we're vegetarian," or something like that effect. Yes, when he threatens to eat people. Yeah, and that's good because it shows, like, don't believe the stereotypes, because the Jabari tribe follows a different religion than the rest of the country, and they're also isolated from the rest of the country, and they also, challenge the leadership of the rest of the country, but they have depth and they have reason for what they do, and they're good people, right? I think that's a great lesson to have in your superhero movie, and it makes you consider, like, why are these people doing what they do? I mean, from the perspective of the merfolk perspective, like, soggy is relative to land dwellers' dryness. Yeah, I was thinking just objectively they'd be soggy. But they'd definitely be small from the merfolk's perspective, because they'd shrink. Unless they get them pre-shrunk. I don't know. But I'm sure mermaids have the concept of dry. I feel like they do. It might be foreign to them, but I feel like they have the concept of dry. I want an entire show with M'Baku. More of him the better. He's one of the most well-rounded characters in the entire MCU, I say. I agree. I think he is one of the most well-rounded characters. I don't want to see an entire show about him because I feel like he's good as a secondary character. He is good as somebody who, like, foils some people, supports some people. I think he's good as that. And I don't want him to be Jack Sparrow. Where they take a very good secondary character and they make him the main character and it sucks. I don't want that to happen to M'Baku. So I'm good at him just continuing to be in Black Panther movies and being who he is. Such a smooth game. I love this game. I can't keep talking about it. If I move quickly, I can prevent the enemy from spawning? Okay, which way do I need to go? Okay. Let's see if I can prevent the enemy from spawning. No! Dang it. Oh, I could just defeat them very quickly, too. I would love a show where he's a secondary protagonist, just constantly messing with the primary protagonist. Yeah, that's what I'd like to see, right? Like a Shuri show where he's her counsel. That would be nice. Or like a new character from the Jabari tribe that's like learning how to grow up, and he's like a mentor. That would be nice. That way. Where am I? Oh, I see. Okay. Ta-da. I started watching Mira the Royal Detective. I don't know if y'all watched that, but it's real good. It's real good. I move quickly, I can prevent the enemy from spawning, but how do I move quicker? If it's... I guess I could fall, but let's try. Let's try to prevent this enemy from spawning. Quickly. Come on, quickly. Yeah, don't spawn. Why would it tell me to move faster to prevent the enemy from spawning if the enemy's gonna spawn before I even get there? Nope, that was the wrong button. I feel like a lot of people have been talking about a workplace comedy in the MCU. But I don't think it's gonna happen. I don't think that's a thing. I think Disney has far too many supers to get through before they start focusing on like non-supers, and especially with what happened to Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., where it was successful, sure, but it petered out and they ran out of plots very quickly. I don't think they're gonna go back there. Oh, why did I? Come on. Wrong button. I'm about to start watching all of the classic Doctor Who. Yes, you said that last week, I think. It's going to take me at least 2 years, and I'm not even taking into account the week breaks between seasons, watching the other shows and movies I'll be watching in the meantime. Okay, good luck. Good luck. I wish I had, like, a life where I could, like, binge watch TV shows and movies and stuff. Oh, that would be so good. But I don't. I think it'll be a while till it does. Star Trek eventually got Lower Decks. Is that what Star Trek is? Is that a or Lower Decks? Is that like a non like secondary tertiary characters day in the life show? Because that's good. But also Star Trek has been out for like a bajillion years, and that's how, and we just got Below Decks. So I don't know, or not Below Deck, Lower Deck. Got the feeling Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. with that bigger issue with Kevin Feige and the MCU execs moving away from Joss Whedon and his creative direction, slowly decanonizing the show. I think that's part of it too. I think, weren't some parts of it re-canonized? I'm gonna go this way. I'm pretty sure that's what happened. But who knows? I certainly don't know. I'm not Kevin Feige. But also, and this is the part, the same thing that happened with Bionicle, is that when you have that kind of story, it gets very stale very quickly, and you got to switch it up, right? And so with the MCU right now, if a story gets stale, like Iron Man's story, for example, you just switch to a different hero with another few decades of backstory that you can pull from, and it's an entirely new story, right? Whereas, dang it, this is what I was saying about like getting into the flow of it. You need to push the right buttons. But I don't know. I feel like there's too many easy stories to tell since you're pulling from the books anyway. There's too many easy stories to tell before they have to make up their own. Now, I don't know if there are office dramas in the books. I have not read that many books. But yeah, I feel like plus the superheroes are way more marketable than Office Job, right? I know for sure after a certain point they were ignored. The Ghost Rider, the Lockhart plot, re the Inhumans. I forgot that it was connected to the Inhumans. Lower Decks is an unimportant ship and follows the low-ranked crew. So basically, yeah. Otherwise, I agree with your overall take, though. Broke said certain points were ignored. Yeah. Stories are hard to continue, right? Just in general, stories are hard to continue. Even Arthur Conan Doyle killed Sherlock Holmes because he got pissed off. Right? So, like, I don't like that movie studios and even, like, publishing houses and stuff are like, we need the same story over and over and over again. It's like, no, you're going to ruin all of these stories. If you ask for the same story over and over and over again, you're going to ruin these stories. If you ask for the same characters over and over and over again, you're going to ruin these characters. Like, you can't do that. This is where I started. Okay. How do I get there? I got to go all the way around. Okay. But that's what they do. And they're like, so at least with Marvel and with DC, I don't think Star Wars is doing this, but they might start doing this. There's enough of a catalog where they can be like, okay, we can't risk an original story, but here's something new that we can tap into, right? How do I get up there? Oh, she's back down there. Okay. Like, how do I tap into? And when I say newest story, I'm not meaning like a new story. I'm meaning like a story that hasn't been told in a movie yet. You know? But it's fine. You gotta make the money. Am I not supposed to go this way? I am supposed to go this way. Okay. Riri Williams' case, 6 years of backstory. Yeah. Or Kamala Khan, right? Have I been calling her Camila Khan this whole time because that's how it's been spelt in the chat? Kamala Khan. Kamala Khan. Kamala Khan. I knew there was something off, but I couldn't put my finger on it. I'm like, that's not her name, but I don't know what her name is. Kamala Khan, you have enough backstory to build a foundation, but then you can change it, right? And a lot of the fanboys were pissed off that she went from embiggening powers to cosmic powers. But don't forget that the reason that she has her powers is because she wanted to be like Carol Danvers in the books, right? Or that's not the reason that she has the powers. The reason is because of what happened in Inhumans. But the first thing she did with her powers was accidentally turn into Carol Danvers, is because that's who she wants to be. So I feel like the MCU is just cutting out the middle part of the story and being like, all right, your powers are to be like Carol Danvers, then you're going to be like Carol Danvers. We'll just make your powers more like hers. It's looking like the 60th anniversary of Doctor Who. Oops. I was reading the chat. I should not have been reading the chat. I should be paying attention to these walls. Okay. Now I can read the chat. It's looking like the 60th anniversary of Doctor Who is an adaptation of a comic from the 70s. Same thing. You cannot risk a new story, so you go to the books. Spider-Man Reign or Bust? I have not read Spider-Man Reign. The powers also look really bloody cool. Okay, let's not push it. Has anyone seen the trailer for the new Into the Spider-Verse movie? I've not seen the trailer. I've seen the poster just because people on TikTok have been complaining about the poster. I just recorded a video about that before the stream, so we'll see a video tangentially related. It's about Gandhi, but I mentioned Into the Spider-Verse in it. Alright, Alaka attacks work well on this lady, so let's use more Alaka attacks. I haven't seen the poster. Why are they mad? They're mad because Miles Morales is slightly darker in this movie than he was in the previous movie. That's why they're mad. And I think that was beef with the trailer too, but I still haven't seen the trailer. Because a bunch of indoor people are finding out for the first time that people of color sometimes change color. And the reason they don't know this is because in order to do that, you either have to grow up or go outside. And the people who are complaining about this have done neither. So that's my pettiness. I don't know if I recorded a video where I was saying that and being petty. I don't know if I want to publish it, but we'll see. Hammer Trail out on my birthday, so I was quite happy. That means your birthday was recent. Oh, we did wish you a happy birthday, I think. It's the most notable thing about Spider-Man Reign. It's not canon official, but it was the comic miniseries. Also, MJ is deceased because Spider-Man had more than his blood be radioactive. Oh, that's where that's from. I heard about that. That is an interesting take, but you know, comic book writers, they can get away with anything. Do they not know that people tan or skin tone changes as people age? You probably heard that as you were typing it. Yeah, in order to figure out that people change their skin color, you need to grow up and go outside. Oh, that's where that's from. The first movie walked into the Spider-Man live action, walked so that Spider-Man live action could run comics or wild. Yeah, I definitely thought that No Way Home was going to be the live action introduction to the multiverse because they introduced it in the trailer. Turns out it wasn't, but we got it in the next movie anyway, so it's fine. So it's fine. Not No Way Home. Far From Home. I thought Far From Home was going to be the introduction to the multiverse. No Way Home was the introduction to the multiverse. But with Mysterio, I assumed that would be the introduction to the multiverse, but it wasn't. That's okay. It's like what if foreshadowing. Oh yeah, forgotten they had marketing from Far From Home with all the multiverse stuff. It was just a weird misdirect. Yeah, I like it when they misdirect. I know the fanboys get mad, but I like it when there's intentional misdirection in these things. Because like, you guys know that I don't like to keep up with news and rumors and trailers and stuff for things when they come out. But like, sometimes you just can't avoid it. So I like it when there's a little bit of misdirect and the trailer doesn't give away exactly what's going to be in the movie. It's fun. I'm having flashbacks to the first trailer for Psycho, where it's just Alfred Hitchcock walking through the set and being like, and this is where this happens, and this is where this happens, and this is where this happens. Isn't like Ben Shapiro getting annoyed at Glass Onion having misdirection? Yes. Ben Shapiro is convinced that misdirection is bad movie writing because Ben Shapiro is a baby that needs to be spoon-fed his movies. Can't think on his own, that one, that Ben Shabibo. Don't know how he made it through Harvard, but somehow he did. And I fell off this wall. I have poor memory, so I watch the trailer and then forget by the time it's released. Yeah, that's fine. That's fine too. I definitely avoid like trailer breakdowns and Easter egg breakdowns and stuff like that because they just ruin it. They just ruin the whole experience. And like, I know, get your clout, get your bag, whatever, but it ruins the whole movie going experience for me, at least. What happened there? That wasn't supposed to happen. Nope, I want to go out. I want to go out. I want to go out. Oh yeah, he did try to become a screenwriter, didn't he? I forgot about that. Yeah. I can't imagine why it didn't work out for him. So sad. Anyways. But I have experienced his books, and it's just exactly what you would imagine it is. I don't know if you guys follow Worst Year Ever and Behind the Bastards and those podcasts, but they sometimes read books from right-wing pundits, including Ben Shapiro and Jordan Peterson, and they're just so bad. They're so bad. When I was saying earlier, like when they teach you how to write, they make sure that every single word you use counts. These people never got that lesson. That's fine. He is successful and responsible for multiple mass shootings, which is more than I can say about myself as a writer and as a influencer. So good for him, I guess. He's very successful. I can assure you, if I'm ever responsible for a mass shooting, that will be the end of my social media career, voluntarily, if not involuntarily. Sorry, I see Chunks and Alfred are in the chat, but I'm at that part where I can't look at the chat. Okay, now I can look at the chat. Wait, Bad Batch comes out tomorrow. Bad Batch comes out tomorrow. Yeah, I don't know if they're doing the full series or if they're doing it episode by episode. But yeah, Bad Batch comes out tomorrow. Super duper exciting stuff. Is that it? Is that all the light seeds from inside the tower? Okay, let's go up the tower. Jordan Peterson is such an idiot. I remember when he had a bitch off with over Elliot Page existing. I'm not going to conform to your impossible naming standards. The impossible naming standards is some dude told you his name. Didn't even tell you his name. There was a news article that mentioned some dude's name, and that's an impossible naming standard. Thanks, Dr. Jordan Peterson. Thank you, Doctor of Psychology, Jordan Peterson. My sister went to his school that he taught at, and like imagine the worst people you've ever met in your life. They're all huge fans of him in real life. How do I get to those light seeds? I want those light seeds. Reminds me of the Ben Shapiro tweet that used the phrase atomized individualism. How did Ben Shapiro use the phrase atomized individualism? Because that's definitely a phrase I've used before. Not in a good way, though. Oh, I see it. There's a plate there. I need to unlock the plate. Alright, let's get off this tower. Let's blow this popsicle stand. Episode 1 and 2 come out tomorrow, and then weekly until episode 7, which releases together. And then back to weekly. Oh, I wonder what's going on with episode 7 and 8. I consistently forget you have a sister. I remember Ado, and then your other brother. Did I say sister? My sister-in-law. Ado's wife. That's the one who went to York and had to endure Jordan Peterson stands. It's not as if he went from his dead name Gregory Alexander David Page. He changed like 3 letters. Yeah. Yeah. Also, like, it's a name. If you don't want to call someone by their name, don't talk about them. Right? Or I guess use pronouns if you really want to talk about them, but like don't. Don't. Okay, is that the Ben Shabibo tweet that you just sent to the Discord? Let me check. Yep, it is. I have him blocked, so I can't read his tweets on my timeline. The end goal, a national state that stands as the... Oh, what? This is a whole thread. Respect Marriage Act is a vital step. He means that only as the beginning of a slippery slope. Okay. He's talking about marriage equality. The national state that... The end goal, a national state that stands as the good of the new moral system and atomized individuals without recourse to intermediary institutions of community or civil society. Thus will a new, better form of humanity bloom, rooted in the cult of expressive individualism. Okay, I get what he's saying. I'm not opposed to atomized individuals in this phrasing, because I'm sure he believes that's what they are. I don't know why he thinks letting more people get married will, like, push people apart. Atomized individual. Yeah, I feel like he's using it as a reduplication, right? Like when you say somebody likes you, or likes you, that's called reduplication, and it's just saying the same thing twice for emphasis. So he's saying it's not just individualism, because you can't say it's individualism, because Ben Shapiro is a fan of individualism. So he has to say it's an extreme atomized version of individualism, or what was the other one that he said? Or expressive individualism. Because individualism is good, atomized individualism is bad, expressive individualism is bad, right? So, you know, Ben Shabibo things. Oh, nope, should not have jumped that. Thanks for sending the thread in the Discord. I will read the rest of it later, after stream. Because I can feel my voice starting to go, and I can't do more Ben Shapiro voice. Apparently Ben Shapiro's sister lives in my city, so people here see him sometimes with my face blindness. Probably wouldn't recognize him, which would irritate him. Even with your face blindness, I feel like you would recognize him. Just look for the guy that's 90% eyebrows. Or I guess the woman that's 90% eyebrows, because their face is exactly the same. If you see two people walking down the street with each other and they have the exact same face, but one of them has boobs, that's probably him. Anyway, yeah, Ben Shabibo, not a fan. Not a fan. But yeah, I don't understand how he's come to the conclusion that, like, I understand how he comes to his conclusions because he's very formulaic in his thinking. I don't understand how the conclusion can be formed that if you let more people get married, people would be more divided. That's what I do not understand. Maybe I need to read the rest of the thread and be educated in the marketplace of ideas. If he's with his wife, just looks like a very unpleased woman. Yes. If you see a man with large eyebrows walking next to a woman that has just the driest woman you've ever met, then that's Ben Shabibo. Oh, I have that image in my head, and now I hate everything about him. If you see a man whose face is 90% eyebrows, walking with one woman that he hates, and one woman that he has a crush on, who has his exact face, that's Ben Shabibo. That's how you know. That's how you identify him. Also, he's like 3 feet tall. He doesn't have dwarfism. Dwarfism is real and valid, but his energy makes him 3 feet tall. This is, oh my goodness. Did you guys hear what happened after the Andrew Tate thing? The Andrew Tate Greta Thunberg thing. And then a lot of really, really misguided people got mad at Greta Thunberg for that because they equated small dick energy with small dick being an insult. Completely ignoring the word energy and how it's been used colloquially. He should send an email to I have small dick energy at getalife.com. Yeah, maybe. Maybe they can help him sort out his situation. But yeah. For clarification, if if Twitch mods are watching this, small dick energy has nothing to do with penis size. All penis sizes are valid. Energy can be invalid. Not all energy is valid. And all stages of penis existence are also valid. Energy is what we are judging here. I wonder if that ties into like ethnicities. So in my last few videos, I've been talking about different ethnicities, and one person commented saying Persians don't exist anymore when I was talking about the made-up movie Prince of Persia. And I had to explain to him that Persians are an ethnicity and also an ethno-linguistic group, even though they're not a nationality anymore. And he's like, oh yeah, my boss calls himself Persian. And I'm like, okay, so you already knew that. And I feel like big dick energy needs to have the same sort of clarification. Like when I call somebody Persian, I'm not referring to the overturned state of Persia. And when I'm referring to small dick energy, I'm not referring to small penises. Like, disclaimer. Words have meanings. Don't be misogynistic, self-trafficking, dude bro asshole, and you won't have small dick energy. Yes. Don't try to validate your masculinity by invalidating femininity, and you won't have small dick energy, right? Obviously, because I'm on the Muslim side of TikTok, I need to, not make fun of Andrew Tate, because all the Muslim dude bros that hate women love him. So, you know, trying to fit in. Trying to fit in with the people who take low angle videos in the driver's seat of their car just to yell at women. That's the crew I'm trying to fit in with. And don't dox yourself with pizza. Yeah, I've read one source saying that the pizza thing is not true, so I don't want to repeat that until I get confirmation of whether or not it's true. The common story is that because he flies private jets that don't go through customs and immigration, Romania did not know for sure that he was in Romania, and then he ordered local pizza and didn't recycle the boxes and put them in a video. So if true, it would be very, very funny, like Alex is saying, if he doxed himself with pizza boxes. And whether it's true or not doesn't really matter if you are Jerry's Pizza, because they are just getting the best reviews now. Everyone's rating Jerry's Pizza 5 stars because of what happened. It's so good. It's so good. All right, let me focus on my timing. Let me wipe off my hands. Their business must be booming. Yes. Now is a good day to be Jerry's Pizza. We had also, welcome Bellamy, welcome to the chat. It is a great time to be Jerry's Pizza. There's a pizza place here, not in the city but out of town, that was pro-Trump. They doubled down on being pro-Trump, which again, Canada, don't do that. Don't double down on somebody else's president. Whether they're good or bad, don't get a flag of somebody else's president and wave that around. But they did that, and apparently their pizza is like the best in the province. And so I'm like really disappointed because I never got a chance to try them before they decided to be terrible people. So, there was also, I wrote a blog about this for work. What was it? Pizza. Oops. I was pushing the wrong button. What was the one that the McElroy brothers talked about on Munch Time? Munch Squad, not Munch Time. Munch Squad. There was a pizza place that supported January 6th, like tweeted out support for January 6th on January 5th. And they got right in it too. So the McElroy brothers used their clout to call on other pizza places to be like, do you condemn January 6th? And I think only DiGiorno replied. Only one pizza place replied. Emmanuel Macron. Yeah. So if there's a pastry shop that makes little cookie-sized sandwiches, they can endorse Emmanuel Macron because they make Macron. Did you see the guy trying to get custody of his stepdaughter? The bio's dad name is Justin. Now a bunch of people think they're fighting Trudeau. Oh, I haven't seen that, but that's so good. That's so good. I love it when people hate on Trudeau for no reason. Like, so I don't know if you know this, but there was another convoy planned for Winnipeg in February, which, if you know anything about Winnipeg and February, those don't mix. Those don't mix. February and Winnipeg do not mix. We still have, here in the city, we still have our protesters, we still have our anti-vaxxers, our Trumpers, etc., and so forth. And they're like, the government needs to enemy change state. Only will end this state. Okay, good to know. And they're still like end mass mandates and stuff like that. Blah 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 blah. Meanwhile, we have Danielle Smith in our provincial government, who's not doing anything, and we have teachers and workers and like social workers and stuff like not social workers, healthcare workers, people who are like, can the government mandate masks again? Because kids are getting sick, people are getting sick, people are still dying, right? And the government's like, no. And then the protesters are like, screw the government, we don't want any mandates. And the government's like, we don't want any mandates either, why are you being mean to us? Yeah, Trudeau is canceled. Fun fact, there is only one Justin in the world. There is only one Justin in the world, and he is responsible for mask mandates. Even though he has not implemented mask mandates, he is the one who has implemented the mask mandates that we don't have. Half the UK is on strike now, and the government is just refusing to do anything. What are they on strike for now, though? I have not kept up. Concubine, let me get close to you so I can thank you. Okay. Dang it. Pay raises in line with inflation and basically that aren't term pay cuts. Yeah, but your prime minister doesn't know how businesses work. Like, how do you expect pay raises to match inflation when your prime minister went to a soup kitchen and asked if the guy getting soup was in business? It doesn't make any sense. Yeah, but here we are. And stateside, they're still fighting for like $25 minimum wage, because if the minimum wage is kept up, it would be $25. If it had kept up with inflation, it would be $25 by now. But it's not, so they're fighting for 15. Some people are like, forget 15, let's go straight for 25. But I don't think it's going to go up. It's going to stay 7, whatever. I love these combos. I hate that I keep hitting them on the edge, so I get like, so it makes me start over, but still, I like them. Oh god, yeah, that bloody video was just so icky. For God's sake, Rishi, he's such a slimy, disgusting bloke. Yeah, because he doesn't know how the world works. He's in politics. He's been in politics too long. Same issue that I have with Pierre Poilievre. He's been in politics too long that he does not know how the world works. He sees homeless people as frictionless spheres. I don't know if you guys get that joke. It's a physics joke, but still. All French presidents become the princes of Andorra. That's interesting. All British monarchs become the king or queen of Canada. So we're still dealing with that. In our local politics, the mayor is asking the city board to allow her to move out of the state because she remarried her new husband who lives out of state. Sure, just resign post. Just resign the post. That's fine. I think he's only been an MP since 2015, I think. Yeah, so that's the issue that we've had with Pierre Poilievre, is that he's only been an MP for like a little bit, but he started his career in politics, was campaigning when he was 16 years old. So even though he's only been in a position for a little bit, he's been surrounded by lobbyists and pundits and all the just the worst people, in the world. And then that's shaped his worldview, right? Because 16 is a very impressionable time to be surrounding yourself with a certain group of people, right? That's the time of your life when you figure out who you are. He's been in long enough to have a pension already. Okay. But like comparing that to like his entire life, he's been in politics since he was a child. And also, we should force them to have pensions. We should force people out of politics. We should have term limits and all that stuff, all that good stuff. No, she wants to be the mayor from 8 hours away. Yeah, don't do that. That should be illegal. That's like Ted Cruz wanting to be the president. No, can't do it. Straight up, no, not allowed. He's also the richest person in Parliament, married to an Indian millionaire that was the chancellor. Great. That just makes him even more out of touch. Because rich people don't know how anything works. How much could a banana be? $10? No, I shouldn't make that joke. It might be soon. These combos. I love the combos so much. Also, nobody voted for him. Yes. He's just win by default, you know? Gotta love it. Gotta love it when when the default state of politics, like nobody voting, the default state of politics, is the worst person gets put in charge. Thanks, Mom. I am such a disappointment. French politics always reminds me of Miraculous Ladybug. I don't know enough about Miraculous Ladybug or French politics to comment on that. Alright, let's see this place. Oh, gotta push the button. Keep forgetting you gotta push the button. Did they ever pick a House Speaker today? Last I checked, no. Nobody won. So, we'll see what happens. That was the last update that I had. Nobody won. Brother just sent a picture of a Ravenclaw sweater. I'm like, no thank you. Da, 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 da. 3 failed attempts, 1 home trying again tomorrow. Fantastic. There it is again, that funny feeling. They're reconvening at noon tomorrow. Alright, let's see what happens at noon tomorrow. Da, da, da. I'm really hungry. I should get some food after this stream. What time is it? It's 8:52. It's 8:52? Dang. Okay, how do I get off this tower? Oh. I really like this piece of art. I'd never noticed it before. Thank you for the hydration check. And for the stretch. Definitely got to stretch. My dumb rep is the leader of the Rep Disunity team, so that's fun. Still no hydration, so we're going to do another hydration. I'm really worried for the next general election because Keir Starmer, leader of the opposition, is leaning more and more right as days goes by, and is really worrying. Scott Perry. I mean, yeah, we have pretty much the same, right? Our liberals are becoming conservatives, and our conservatives are becoming crazy here in Canada, and people still think voting NDP will split the vote even though NDP has enough, NDP right now has enough support, I think, here in this city at least, that if people weren't worried about splitting the vote, they'd win. The only reason they keep losing is because people are worried about splitting the vote, which is a vicious cycle, in my opinion. But yeah, the Liberals are conservatives, are pretty much conservatives. The Democrats are pretty much Republicans with a few exceptions, like Bernie Sanders and AOC. But AOC is being investigated for something. I didn't look into the details of that. When you're surprised by how late it is. No, I'm surprised by how early it is. I thought it was like 10. Yeah, I didn't realize. I didn't even push a button. What happened? Also, I've been 30 for 21 hours now. I guess technically I've only been 30 for like 8 hours, but I'm getting old, you guys. I'm getting old. Oh god, my mom is so stupid and doesn't understand how propaganda works. Who does? If people understood how propaganda... Stop! Stop! I didn't turn, I jumped! Okay. If people didn't understand how propaganda... If people understood how propaganda worked, then propaganda wouldn't work anymore. Right? The whole point of propaganda is that people don't know how it works, so people fall for it. Wait, we're the same age? Chunks, we're the same age? And you have a kid? Oh my god. Oh my god, you're making me feel worse than my grandmother. My grandmother called me right before stream to wish me. And she's like, happy birthday to you, because she, has the Tanzanian accent. And the very next thing she says is, all right, you're 30. Time to get you a girl. Do you want me to look for you? When you come to Jamal Khana on Monday, I'll find one for you. And I thought you were like mid-30s. I keep seeing parents as like significantly older than I am. It makes me feel bad to know that, like, not even a new parent, like a successful, already in the flow of parenting parent is my age. Oh, that makes me feel so bad. Honestly, an arranged marriage doesn't sound so bad. The last one that they suggested, the last one that they tried to arrange with was a girl from back home. Back home being Kenya. And she was really pretty. But one of my friends was on an education team with her. Like, they worked in religious education together. And she said she was really mean. So I'm like, okay, no. I can't. That's the one thing. Like, if you're mean, no. I know 5 people who all had kids before 20. I know 5 people who all had kids before they turned 20. They're my parents' generation. My parents, by the time they were my age, they had all 3 kids. My parents were 29 when they had me. Like they turned 60 this year. They're 30 years older than me. 29 when Bellamy had their first, right? Now is the time for me to be having kids. No, I think you're like a mom. And, obviously I haven't hung out with you, but from what I've seen, from what you've told me about, from the pictures and the videos and stuff, you seem like you're like in it. You're in the thick of it. I wouldn't classify Chunks as new mom. I feel like new mom comes with a certain amount of baggage that I don't think Chunks has. Maybe they're just really good at hiding it, but like definitely in the flow of being mom. Anyway, this is so funny to me because people usually accuse me of being teen mom. My first stepson was when I was 20 when he was born. See, if it was up to my parents, that would be it. I would like find a child that is that age, or have a child when I'm 20. 2 people in my year at school who had their first kids at 17, 1 in college, 18, and 3 at 19. Wait. Is this a couple from your secondary school that had 3 kids by the age of 19? Or are you talking about different people? You'll know when you're ready. I married my high school sweetheart. Yeah. So um, so I don't know if I've talked, I think I talked about it when Minhas was on stream, but my parents met when they were in the religious group at school, and my dad scammed his way into becoming the vice president of the group and scammed my mom, because she was the new kid at the time, into becoming the treasurer of the group, and that's how they met. They're like, we don't like the guy that's running for treasurer, so we'll like rig the vote so that the treasurer is just not that guy, and it ended up being my mom. So when I got to university, I joined the same group that my parents met in, and I worked my way up to becoming president. And my treasurer was very nice, but she was not interested in dating, and neither was anyone else in the group. So I went in thinking like, oh, this is how my parents got married. This is how I'm gonna get married. It didn't work. Da, 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 da. As a sperm carrier, it's a tad different. Like, the eggs didn't last long in 35. It's a geriatric pregnancy, so I wanted one. I'd have to be, like, in a relationship right now. Right. Yeah, it's, if you don't have all of the parts to make your own kid, then getting a kid is surprisingly more difficult than making one. You can accidentally make one. You can't accidentally get one. Come on, dude. Just fall over. Just keel over. Thank you. My grandpa was 4 by 22. My grandparents were also super young. I don't know specifically how young. Then, like 3 years, he gained 2 stepkids, so he has 6 kids to take care of. Okay. My grandparents on my mom's side had 5 kids, all by birth, but they were like one of 12 or 15 kids between their family and their step family. It was like dozens, if not hundreds of children. I had my kids when I did because I wanted a stepson to feel like he was part of the family, so they were close in age. So my kids were born 2010, 2012, 2014, 2016. I feel like that's a good spread. Also, kudos to you to like making sure that your stepson feels like he's part of the family. I've heard, I haven't experienced, but I've heard that that's like one of those feelings that you can't really shake as you grow up. So I hope your kids can, since you started early. But also like 2 years, 2 years, 2 years. That's a pretty good spread. Da, 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 da. My parents were high school sweethearts. They met when my dad was in grade 9, so my school years were tough. I'm sure you faced a lot of pressure. A lot of pressure to find someone. Whenever I hear of, can we just put sperm in water and leave it for 24 hours? I can tell you from experience, no. That's not how you make babies. That's how you make a mess. Whenever they hear about this, so many close together, it make my body hurt. A round of applause to you. Yeah. My Adel and his wife are talking about their second, and because it's been 2 years, and they want, like, adoption is just such a difficult process that they're like, all right, let's just make another one, because adoption is so difficult, which sucks, like, in general for society, that adoption is so difficult. I get that they want like good parents and not garbage parents, but like if adoption is so hard that like parents who have been through the process of making their own baby, normal teenage stuff, Alberg, normal teenage stuff. I think 2 years is what doctors recommend. Yeah, when I've seen, like, my friends in high school were all 2 years apart, stuff like that. My brother and I are 2 years. My other brother and I are 5 years. So, you know, I grew up with a lot of kids who felt like siblings that weren't really the same family. Didn't want that for my kid. Yeah, Totally, 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 totally. Although the only caveat I have, which is not a problem that you have, Taters, is even number of children, please. Have an even number of children, please. Because when there's an odd one out, there's an odd one out. My cousins are okay with that because the two boys get along really, really well, and then the sister is the odd one out, which is fine because she's different anyway. But growing up, it's really tough when you have an odd number of kids. Between me and my first sister, it's about 5 years. First and second sister, 18 months. Ooh, that's cutting it pretty close. And second sister and brother are about 5 years. Okay, that's not too bad. Honestly, yes, I have two younger brothers, and I was always the odd one out. Yeah, there's always an odd one out. So you just, you know. But, so, yeah, Taters, you already know. You already know the rules. You've lived through it. Okay, how do I get over here? Yeah, but, like, I wanna raise kids where they feel included. And I talked about this in the Discord a little bit as well. Because, like, whether it's siblings or, like, having an adjacent family is like, super duper important to me. I have a friend who I just talked to today, actually. He's from Kenya, too. Bunch of Kenyans. And he really, really wanted his kid to grow up, because his wife is only like, we're only having one kid. We're not having more than one. And he's like, that's fine. But he really, really wanted his kid to grow up with siblings because he never had that growing up. He's also an only child. And so he was really, really close to the friend group, and he was really, really accommodating to the friend group. And these past 2 or 3 years, the friend group has been having kids, right? So because we're all so close, it's like, this is the siblings, right? Like, this is going to be your daughter's family. All of these friends and all of their children are going to be your daughter's family. And then unfortunately, in 2022, like, I was about to say this year, but technically it was last year, he moved. And he's gone for at least the next 3 years, which means all of these brand new babies are not going to... his daughter is not going to have this connection with all these brand new babies, which really, really sucks. It really, really sucks. He had to move for his wife's job, but which is good. It's good for him. It's good for his family, but it sucks. When I planned on more, I wanted 5 years apart, like the older being responsible. That's what happened to my sister. Don't do that. Between me and my first sister, about 5 years. Honestly, yes, I have two younger brothers. There's the odd one out. Now my stepson moved out of province, and I ended up with 3 most of the time anyway, which is awful in and of itself, obviously. I hope... Oh, are you talking about why your stepson moved out? Is that the awful thing? Growing up alone is something I never wanted for my children. I can relate to that as well. I like your video on how everyone is part of the family in certain cultures. Yeah. I didn't say in certain cultures, just in my culture. Other people chimed in and they're like, oh, we're Jewish, we do this too. Oh, we're, what was the other one? Nakota, we do this too. And I'm like, cool. I didn't know that. I wish Nicola had cousins. My brother won't have kids. And Nicola's other cousins are older and not close. Yeah. I had that issue growing up because I was the youngest person on my mom's side of the family. Like the youngest of our generation. And my cousins were like 10, 20, 30 years older than me. Not 30, I think 25 is the limit. 25 years older than me. And so I didn't have friends on that side. I didn't have cousins on that side. And that's something that I didn't, like, understand why that was going on. So when we take our vacations and we'd come here, be like, okay, we need to spend half the time with mom's side of the family, half the time with dad's side of the family. Dad's side of the family, I have a cousin that's 2 years away from me. And I'm like, I want to spend time with that cousin because that's my friend, that's my cousin, that's my person. Whereas who is all these old people that I don't understand? Yeah, I don't want my kids to think of like I think of my mom. Think of me like I think of my mom. I just want them to trust me, and a way to do that is to actually care about your kids and give them the most of yourself as you can give them, and take them out and validate them and let them talk to you and confide in you. Yes, that is the goal. That is the goal. Kids are hard, so it's a good goal. It's my goal if I ever have kids, but my cousins are at least 10 years younger than me. Then also, they're all that from that auntie, so you know the racist one. So like, yeah, okay. Hopefully they turn out better than the auntie though, right? That's the optimistic thing. But yeah, I don't want my kids to grow up with cousins the way that I did, where it's like your parents' siblings, but also your parents' cousins, their kids are your cousins too. Because what I have right now is obligation, right? You have to spend time with these people. You have to be nice to these people. Even though they like bullied you growing up and still bully you, even though they're not good people, some of them are good people. The ones in Africa are good people, and I don't get to hang out with them. But even though these people suck, you still have to hang out with them. I don't want to force my kids into that. So having a community, having friends, family friends, I think is good, because then if the relationship gets strained, if something goes south, then you have no problem just cutting them off, right? Moving on to a different friend group, and you can heal in that way. But the cousins upon cousins upon cousins, if I have a kid, they will have at least 3 cousins that I know of. So, like as in my siblings' children. Not sure who I end up with, who my partner, how many siblings and children they will have. But so far, I'm good. With my current niece, I'm okay with her being an older cousin to my children. She seems nice so far. Can't talk yet, but she seems nice so far. Growing up, we spent lots of time with the grandparents, and we all had cousins close in age. It was great. My baby cousins are now having babies. That's the way you want to do it, when you keep the generations tight, so that everyone feels like they're related to each other. Everyone feels included by each other. I think that's the best way to do that. Obviously, when your family gets big, you can't coordinate a bunch of that, and it'll start to like spread out over time, which is fine. I think I said in the comments of that video about generations, one of my uncles is younger than me. He's just getting into college right now, and I still call him uncle. The problem is he hangs out with the uncles, right? He doesn't hang out with the cousins. He hangs out with the uncles. He hangs out by himself mostly because he's an introvert. But when we're looking at like family hangouts, he is, even though he's a kid, he's an uncle, right? Because that's just how far spread our family is. I'm pretty sure I'm going in circles. What is going on? Okay, I gotta go this way. I've been raising my kids with the knowledge that you don't owe anyone your energy or time if they don't deserve it, even family. It's rough. It is rough, right? Especially because my parents, especially my dad, came from the entire extended family lives in one house, right? Your cousins, your aunts, you all live in one house. And it's a pretty big house. I visited it back in Tanzania. And then when he came here for university, because he was, poor, contrary to the name, my dad was very poor growing up, he would live with his cousins. Because his cousins were rich, they already had houses here, and they had spare income and spare food and stuff. So he grew up in a situation where you're relying on your cousins all of the time. And then right after my oldest brother was born, we moved away. The family moved away. And so we never grew up. So the cousins have mostly grown up together. Like there's the family here that is super close. There's the family in Vancouver that is super close. There's the family in Montreal that is super close. And then we were just kind of on our own growing up. So now as grown-ups with like family gatherings and reunions and stuff like that, there's this expectation from the older generations that it's like, oh, we're getting the band back together, right? Family is everything. Come to the family. But my generation is so spread apart that it's like, it's not. We don't have that closeness, right? And so we had a family reunion last summer, and unfortunately, oh dang it, wrong button again. And unfortunately, I couldn't make it because I had school, and it was just unfortunate timing. I didn't do that on purpose. And so I have people from my parents' generation, my grandparents' generation being like, we missed you, you should have come, we missed you, you should have come. And then I have my cousins that are like, yeah, it sucked. Good, you didn't come. Like, yeah. Because we don't have that family solidarity anymore because we're too spread out, right? We're no longer the generation where all of the cousins live in the same house, or at least in the same neighborhood. All of the cousins go to the same university. That doesn't happen anymore. I know this is timed so that I don't get attacked by these things, but it still feels like an accomplishment when I make it. Okay, back to the chat. Your niece is rad. She knows when to cut people out when necessary, or just mute them at least. She does. If she knows nothing else, she knows boundaries, which is more than I know. She knows how to push things and people away when she's not having a good time anymore. Every time I see a cute Duplo sets, I think of your niece. I wish she was at the Duplo stage. She's 2 now, which means she's within the labeled age range of Duplo, but she's not at Duplo yet. I'm the youngest adult in my extended family, even though I'm one of the cousins. I sit with the aunties and man. Yeah, right? It's about who you fit in with. The labels aren't as important. I see positives and negatives to that. Like, if you have a baby, you need help, there's mutual respect. I bet it's great, but I can see it being a challenge as well. My nephew just started Duplo barely. Yeah, Duplo is a fun time. Especially because, again, as I said in like my first stream, hold on to your Duplo. Build your Duplo with your Lego. Why is this guy recharging? Stop recharging. Oh, I remember. I need to get him close to this pillar. This is what I need to do. I need to knock him into this pillar. So far, he loves crashing the Duplo. My kids never did the Duplo thing. They use Duplo bricks as play food and other things. Never built with them. Yeah. So my niece is kind of at that stage where she can hold the Duplo brick, but she doesn't know what the Duplo brick is, right? So she's not building, she's just whacking. I hope she gets to a point soon where it's like, where she can start with imaginative play. But I think as long as she's having trouble identifying stuff, that's gonna be, imaginative play is a little bit of, it's a ways away. Yeah, knocked him into the thing. Nope, was that the wrong thing? Okay, let's knock him into this. Let's put him in here. This is lit up. Let's see if this is the place we need to go. This game reminds me of when I'm trying to play Horizon and my friend has to help me. Is your friend helping you in the game? Because that would be cool. If your friend's like another character that helps you out. No? Was this not the right place? No? Okay. Where am I supposed to leave this guy? Is there another pillar? I don't see another pillar. And none of my attacks are working on it. Like, I can't do anything. What is going on? Here's an idea. Adult Duplo, Death Star sets that are Duplo sized. Those would be so expensive. Duplo is already like 30 times the price of Lego, piece by piece. Like, that's way too much. That's way too much. We still have Duplo sets, but aren't buying much new Duplo. Yeah, I think keep the ones that you have in it, and since you free build, incorporate them into your building, right? Use them together. Try something new. I think that's a great opportunity to do that. The amount of grown-ups that I've met over the course of my work that don't know that Duplo is compatible with Lego and just threw it out is like mind-blowing. And I think this is my hypothesis. I haven't researched this at all. I feel like if you learn how to use multiple building systems together, I feel like that would help with critical thinking. Not like threw it out, like they gave it to charity or whatever. They just stopped having it. Yeah, they stopped having it. Apparently there is a way to do co-op in Horizon, but you're both playing the same person. Just throw the controller at her, though. Yeah, that's a good way to do it. I cannot do that. The controller's on a very short cable. And I still don't know what I'm doing here. Maybe if I get closer to a wall? I thought I was supposed to trap him in the light up area, but that's not true. Let's see here. Let's try the light up area again. Maybe, can I run up the wall? I can't run up the wall. I'm only in combat mode. I can't get out of combat mode. Oh, what's this? Careful, block them. Careful, block them. Why did I say careful, block them? What does that mean? Okay. Let's try this again. A little underneath. Da-da-da-da. Da-da-da-da. Oh, that's... I pushed the wrong button. Okay, whatever I did, I need to make sure that happens again, but this time push the right buttons. Usually on a time crunch because we're on vacation, I'm not as patient. I'm trying to play the game in a few days when it took her weeks to succeed. Like, I can't just walk away for a few days and try again. Oh, okay, that makes sense. That makes sense. Okay, I need to get back to the lit up area and figure out what I did, and this time push the right buttons. Okay, come here, you big oaf. I always forget the ratio. What size Duplo fits what size Lego? All of Duplo fits all of Lego. It does depend on what you're putting on top of the others, but you're... sorry, let me just do this quick time real quick. Nope, okay. But 2x2s, 2x4s of Lego will fit on top of Duplo, and any size Duplo will fit on top of Lego. So just stick it together and see what makes sense. I have a bucket of unwashed Quattro at my niece's house that I got her. So once I can get that cleaned up, I will make a video about it as well. Anything bigger than a brick will work. So there you go. Yes. Okay. Got it. Figured it out. So Duplo. Do I have any Duplo here? I don't think I have any bricks. But the studs on Duplo are hollow. They look like Technic brick studs. So the tube that exists at the bottom of a Lego piece. Why do I not have any spare Lego bricks when I need them? Is there a brick in here? Let's see here. Brick, 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 brick. I'm sure I have. Okay. Here's my. I got the Quattro from eBay. It was a reseller because it's been discontinued. Okay, I've got some Duplo. Okay. Do I have any bricks in here? No. All good, all good, all good. Sorry for the bags, sorry for the bags. Alright. We have a Duplo. I can't switch the screen because it'll stop the game. We have a Duplo. So any size Lego brick bigger than 2x2. So 1 by anything isn't going to work, but 2 by everything is going to work. Fits right on top. Right? And then, do I have a big plate? Oh, look, stuck together in the bag. Duplo will build on any Lego studs. So, so that's pretty much it. That's what you do. And it's obviously less clutch power. It's Duplo levels of clutch power instead of Lego levels of clutch power, so they do come apart pretty easily. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Did you post on the Discord? Let's see what you posted on the Discord. Yeah. So let's see here. Yeah, the first picture is Duplo on Lego and Lego on Duplo. The second picture, the 4 bricks at the bottom, the yellow, the 2 blue, and the red, those are Quattro. So if you can get your hands on them, they're also compatible. Good luck getting your hands on them, I guess. And then the last picture is Duplo on Lego on Duplo. It's great. It's fantastic. My voice is gone. I don't know if I'll be able to talk tomorrow. I don't have to talk tomorrow, but I don't know if I'll be able to. I don't get paid till tomorrow, and for some reason my Disney Plus goes out on the 4th instead of the 5th when it's supposed to. I feel like for Disney Plus, if it doesn't charge, then it'll try again later. I don't know if it'll automatically retry it, because that's never happened to my Disney Plus. Never heard of Quattro. Quattro came out, oh gosh, I want to say late 2000s, mid to late 2000s, I think. And they only did one series of it. They didn't, like, you know how Duplo has, like, you can get the box of bricks and there's different themes, and Lego has different themes and different, like, building structures and stuff. Quattro, they only did one run, and then it was done. We built Nicola a new bed, and I think we're gonna glue some base plates on it. That's how you play in bed, dude. So if you're doing base plates, I've got something for that too. This one, ignore the bite that's taken out of it. This was $8 on Amazon for 3, and they have an adhesive on the back, and they're compatible with Lego. I haven't had any problems with the clutch power or anything, so if you want to not spend, I don't know how much they are in the States. Are they $10 in the States for the small one? Then you can just get these cheapo Amazon ones and they're fine. I've also seen, oh, you're in the States. You're in the States. So that means you can get the Mako ones, which are similar to the jacket. Where's the jacket? Similar to the jacket in that they are silicone. They're squishy. And so that might be better for the bed because, like, I don't know how much he rolls or how much he moves in bed. But if there's no bricks on it and you bump into it, it won't hurt as much and it won't scratch you. So if you're putting it that close to the bed, I'd recommend get the squishy ones. And those come, they have base plates, but they also have tapes. Like rolls of, I think it's 4 by a bajillion studs that you can get. Why does this music sound like Danny Elfman's Spider-Man? Which Spider-Man did Danny Elfman do? Did he do the Raimi Spider-Man? Or did he do the show? This music is by Inon Zur, who, don't tell anyone, but he is Israeli. He's just, I love this music so much that I'm willing to forgive him being Israeli. It's too dark, it's hard to explain, it's not where he sleeps. It's a platform bed. Oh, okay. I have some rolls I just remembered. I should find those, the Raimi ones, yes. I'm trying to remember what those sound like. Can't remember. But yeah, this might sound like it. I listen to this music constantly. There's 2 compilations on YouTube. One is every single song from the game rip, from the game files in order. And one of them is just like a well mixed 8 hours of the main theme and some side themes. It's just, I listen to this always. When I'm driving, when I'm working, when I'm reading, just all the time. I love this soundtrack so much. This is my favorite soundtrack of all time. You're hearing it right now. Yeah, sure. Pop it into the Discord. There are bits and pieces that sound like Elfman is bothering you. I've never heard that in my life. I've never heard somebody say, I hear a little bit of Danny Elfman and it's bothering me. I'm sure you mean bothering like you're trying to figure out what it is, but, you know, bothering is bothering. Yeah. But, yeah. If it's like a platform bed, then it's fine. But, like, you said bed and I'm like, ooh, danger zone. No, I didn't want to jump. I wanted to drop. Yeah, let's try again. Actually, let's go up here first. What? Oh, I thought they had done some artistic patterns on the sky. I'm just in a cave. It's fine. Okay. Okay. Yeah, let's go get these ones too. Since we're here. Anyone have a good, unique Lego play space ideas like storage workspace? There was, I forget where I saw it, but I know somebody they had like a coffee table that they lined with base plates. But also the top of the coffee table opened. No, they didn't line the coffee table with base plates. The coffee table opens and they line the inside with base plates. And then it also had drawers. So that inside space was filled with Lego, and then the drawers were filled with Lego. And then there were base plates inside that you could build on. But you can also close everything up. Oh, Adel sent his pictures from Louis Vuitton. This is before it was built. Oh, so there's like different areas and stuff. Okay, that makes sense for the bed. We're looking at the bed for those of you following along at home. Taters says, brick building table. I think this is the one. It doesn't look like the one, but it's the same general concept as the one that Taters just sent. Am I sitting? I'm squatting. Okay. That'd be cool if this game had like idle animations of just sitting, enjoying the view. With cubbies, but it's not enough. Yeah. It also depends on how much Lego you have, right? Like, here I have 2 drawers and 3 drawers and a cupboard filled with Lego in this office. plus, oops, wrong button. Plus just 2 more bags sitting on the side filled with Lego. So it really depends on your space. The other thing you can do, and it depends on how you and your kids play, is have 2 separate Lego areas, like one for the sets that you want to keep together and one for just building and playing with, right? I think that could work as well. And then when you want to build sets, you build them in the play area, but then you move them to a display area, or you take them apart and keep them in the boxes, and the boxes are in a storage area, something like that. And that also helps to keep your play area a little bit more tidy. But I guess it also technically restricts your play depending on how you play. It depends on how you play. I really should go to sleep, but I know for a fact that if I sleep now, I won't get up until hours after I need to. Do you trust your alarms, Alex? That's the next question. Because if I was in your situation, same to same, can't do it. Because I don't trust my alarms. But if you trust your alarms, it's worth a risk. I'd rather you not be sleep deprived. As much as I appreciate you coming into these streams, I would prefer if you weren't sleep deprived all the time. Okay, where are these dots? Nope, not that way. Hear a truck. I sleep through alarms. Yeah, me too. Yeah, I'm looking at putting up some lower shelving for the creations, but they currently end up all over my desk and things. That's the problem that I had too, until I made that video of me putting all of my built sets into a bag as a joke. And then they have not left the bag. So it's just, dang it. I love this enemy's sword. I love the sword that I'm holding too. I gotta get a good look at it because it looks a lot like the sword that I have here, which is not a Prince of Persia sword. It's a Hobbit sword, but. Oops. So far, I only had the IKEA boxes for a day, but I do like them so far. Yeah, you were talking about that earlier with the IKEA boxes. They seem like good and useful because you can build on them too. And they have a little display part at the outside. So like, I've never used them, but they seem good. We, the Lego collection that we have, it would not be prudent to use IKEA boxes. They would get too expensive too quickly. So we use the Rubbermaid drawers and desk organizers to sort our pieces out. I think I made a video about that, but it would have been back in like March, I think. My kids free build mostly or build off the set, so they do some roleplay style play with the creations, but some of their stuff they want to put out as decor. So yeah, it's I guess have a brick bin. I don't remember if you personally like the mix bins, but if you're going for like playability, the mix bins are probably the best way to go. I love how much hand holding and hugging and stuff there is in this game. I know we're just friends and it's not like a romantic thing, but it's nice. It's nice to see. Send a pic of it. Yeah, send it in the Discord and you can get everybody's input. How about that? Okay, which way am I supposed to go now? This way. Which is... I've been going the wrong way. Oh no. Okay. Nope, too early. This game is trying to slide into my DMs. Like I said, all I need to cosplay this game is 6-pack and a costume and somebody who wants to hold my hand. That's it. That's all you need. You could you do shells and attach plates? That's always an option as well. I posted it to my TT now a few weeks back, but I'll get another pic. A 6-pack is so I know you can't see it in this costume, but in the original costume from the game, because this is like a cheat code. In the original costume for the game, the 6-pack is the costume. So 6-pack is very much necessary. Also, if you guys remember Minhas from a previous stream, she is also doing the same thing, so we're keeping each other motivated, which is nice. I'm keeping her motivated. I have no motivation, no matter how much she tries. I saw an IKEA hack with plates that I liked. Okay. I think the Calyx shelves from IKEA, the boxy ones, they have 11-inch interiors, so they should fit the smaller base plates if you get them from Lego. Why is TikTok showing I kill every 5 seconds, but I never see your stuff? I don't know. Maybe I just post at the wrong times. My original plan was to post at 10 and 2 every day, so that I get the morning crowd and the evening crowd. But I've been waking up at 10, so it's been like noon and 5. If you move quickly, you can prevent an enemy from spawning. That's a lie. That's a lie. It's not a lie. I prevented the enemy from spawning. Fantastic. I'm seeing a lot of Ado, but hardly. What? Ado's posting on TikTok again? I know he posts his nows every day, and I've been missing the notifications for the past few days. So there's more of him there. And then he does different trends and stuff on his stories, which is cute and nice. But I still don't see too much of him. Alright, I'm starting to get tired, my friends, so I think after I finish this mission or at 10 o'clock, whichever comes first, that's when I'm going to wrap up. Okay, how do I get up there? 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 Can I run? Here's a thing. Okay, let's do this thing. Also, you know when you reply to a comment and then 6 months later you video reply to it? Yes. I have, let me tell you. I have, let me tell you. I have 98 comments that are waiting for a video response. So if I respond in the comments, I respond instantly. If I want to make a video response, I have 98 comments in the way. So it's going to take months. I've been working on increasing my health in a way that is still good for my body and brain, increasing the activity in a way I enjoy, adding veggies and proteins. Yes. I like going hikes on the zoo, garden, etc. Are you answering someone or are you just sharing? Because that's fantastic. Taters is back. It's too messy to grab a pic right now, but I'll see what I have. Yeah. Take your time. There is no rush. I just said that I'm months behind in my replies, so take your time with that. How do I get up there? Okay. Can I climb this pole? I can climb this pole. All right, we're making progress. I realize that I've been humming the same song in like the past 3 streams, and I have not listened to that song yet. I should try listening to that song. Maybe I'll stop humming it. Okay, where to now? Can't go that way. Can't go that way. Anything up there? Anything up there? Oh, can I go this way? No, I can't. really like these long underbed storage bins for our mixed bins because they're not too deep and you can spread stuff out. Yes. You want shallow bins for your mixed bins for sure. But then I have giant bins on my floor. Do you have couch bins? Are couch bins an option? Oh, I can climb up here. Okay, cool. Cool. Because couch bins could work for that. Okay, I really wish my mom would just learn what seasoning is. She doesn't even salt pasta, water, and pepper scramble eggs or what have you. How do you eat food, Alex? You don't salt and pepper your eggs? You don't salt your pasta water? I'm enjoying the Hobbity New Year challenge that I joined. That's great. That's fantastic. Because that's like low intensity health challenge, which I really super like. In concept. My doctor would disagree with me and say that I need a high intensity health challenge because right now everything in my life is low intensity and it's causing more harm than good. But that low intensity health challenge sounds like it's really, really good if you need that amount, right? And everyone's different. They need different amounts of activity and different amounts of food. So I wish my entire family would learn what spices are. I know the feeling. Hey man, just try. Just try, dude. Okay. These are like Tomb Raider level puzzles. I guess it's a Ubisoft game, so. Every time I make pasta, she sat there wondering why it's so much nicer. It's because there's seasoning in it. Yeah. Who knew that the way to make your plants and animals taste better is to add small rocks and dried up plants? Who'da thunk it? Who'da thunk it? It's honestly, you just don't know. You just never know. Oops. Find a way to go up. Okay. Thanks, Elika. Thanks for that. Okay, that's too high. Oh, maybe. Okay. What can I do with this? Okay. I think I'm starting to see the path. Who'da thunk it? Not the British. No offense, Alex. Hey, if nothing else, the British thunk it. If nothing else, the British thunk it. Did they do it? No. Did they thunk it? Yes. Nope, that didn't work. They definitely thunk it. They definitely thunk it. Okay. Option B. Can't go that way. What this? That only turns that one. Okay. Let's see if I can get back here. Oops. Didn't think it would grab me that far away. I like this. It's kind of what I've been doing on my own. Add a bit of acid and it really pops. Oh, thank you. I'm dreading all of the new weight loss posts. Yeah, I can imagine how terrible that is. I've blocked a bunch of TikTok already. Fair enough, they did become the biggest empire for a reason. She also gets really confused when I put paprika, garlic, pepper, onion, and sweet corn in my pot noodle. Dude, don't even tell me about pot noodles. okay? I've already talked about pot noodles. You put in... Oh, no, it turns both of them. Okay. Okay, let's see if we can get here. You put in just all of the spices. Actually, no. There is a store in Florida. They have like 3 or 4 locations. Called the Tea and Spice Exchange. And it's exactly what it is. It's tea and spices. And they have the most delicious pre-mixed spice grinders. So I have the barbecue one, and I have the Italian one, and I used to have the French one. And I have no idea what's in it. It's pre-mixed. So I don't know what's in it. But I know it tastes real good on eggs. It tastes real good on meat. It tastes real good on whatever you put it on. Because it's like the perfect combo and you don't even need to think about it. So if you're ever in Winter Garden or Disney World or Daytona, I think is their other location, head over to the Tea and Spice Exchange and get one of those pre-mixed grinders. It's so good. I still need to get all that stuff to make blue chai. I have 2, speaking of 98 unresponded to comments, I have 2 blue chai recipes that need making. And I haven't had the time to go to a store big enough that has all of the ingredients. There's no Indian store down here, and that's usually where I get my spices from. Because they're way cheaper than grocery stores. So I got to do that. Maybe I'll do that. I can't do it tomorrow, but I don't know. Maybe I'll do it sometime this week and make some blue chai. Okay. Nope. Wrong one. It looks like you can buy from them online. You can buy from them online. I don't know what shipping is going to be because I always bought from them in person. So yeah, check it out. See if shipping is available as well. Come on, get close to the pillar. I know I'm supposed to knock you into the pillar. I'm intuitive enough for that. Just get closer. Did he just call Elika Ahura? That changes. The Pirates Bite one is really good. If you're like a umami type person. I like the Pirates one. I'm sure they'll ship to UK. It's an American company. They have no qualm shipping overseas. It might cost you a few $100s, but I'm sure they have no problem with it. There we go. Cutscene. Perfect. That's what I like about these games is you know you did the right thing when there's a cutscene. What part of the UK? Yeah. The Indian markets are the best place to get spices. You can get a year's worth of spices for like $1 or like £1. Yeah. It's super smart. When I lived in Florida, that's all I used. And even when I moved back here, I don't even have salt and pepper. I have a mixed salt and pepper grinder. Because I'm just too lazy. Like, when my throat started being sore, I'm like, all right, time to do a hot salt gargle to make my throat feel better. And then I'm like, at my house, I'm like, I don't have salt. Yeah, you can't, Alex, you can pay 37 pounds, but like, don't. Go to the Indian store. As long as you know what spice you're looking for by its appearance, because not all the labels are in English, you should be fine in the Indian store. I just now realized that this is Altair's sword. This isn't even a Prince of Persia sword that I'm using. Okay. I think there's one more pillar that needs destroying. I feel like having a grinder is less lazy than pre-ground salt and pepper. I mean, it's the Betty Crocker fallacy. I don't know if that's what it's called, but like, I don't know if you remember, but cake mixes used to be just add water when they were first invented. But so many people were like, I feel like we're not doing anything because we're just adding water, that they changed the recipe for instant cake mix, so now it's add water and an egg and sometimes milk to make people feel like they're doing it. I feel like salt and pepper shakers versus grinders is the same thing. It's just, it makes you feel like you're doing something even though it's literally the same amount of work to grind pepper out of a grinder as it is to shake pepper out of a shaker. My arm hurts every time I use a grinder. I think you're using it wrong, Alex. I don't think your arm is supposed to hurt. And if it does, get the electric ones. They have some really nice Star Wars electric grinders that look like lightsabers. Go ahead. Pepper out of the grinder, but I agree on salt. You think salt, it's pretty much the same? Yeah, it could be. There's this whole craze with like rock salt and sea salt and all that stuff where you need the grinders. I've heard mixed things about like if it's actually beneficial. I don't know. I've read, and by read I mean watched YouTube videos from people dressed up as doctors, that Himalayan sea salts are like really, really good to keep your electrolytes in balance. But I haven't gotten around to trying it as a replacement. I'm still a Gatorade boyo. I just remember the lady that makes food in her sink. Why would you just remember that? What a terrible thing to remember. I do think fresh ground spices taste better. So, I don't know. I feel like there's no reason for them to taste better because it's the same thing, except that they're more aromatic. And smell is a huge component of taste. So I feel like because you can smell them more, you can taste them more. Which certainly helps. Yeah. But I'm a grinder boy all the way. Don't take that out of context. I'm a spice grinder boy all the way. Don't take that out of context either. I'm a freshly ground spices kind of boy. What am I doing with this guy? Do I need to take him to the edge? Let's take him to the edge. Let's take him to the edge. Take it to the edge. It's got to be the edge. I've already knocked down all the pillars. Up. Nope. See, they're hugging. It's so nice. I did do the wrong thing, but let's try again. This time I need to dodge at the right time. There we go. This should be it. Yes! Cutscene. Go. Yes. been able to get my hands on some vegan Korean food, and the seasoning is so unique and tasty. Fantastic. I think we were I did. I think that was one of the dialogues. We were talking about Korean food last time, and I haven't had any since. So, great job on finding vegan Korean food. Is it really a bad thing to remember when you get told the tasty things like really like sink drains and which don't get cleaned that well? Yes, that is that bad. You're grossing people out. Those videos are usually for fetishes. I'm sure, Chunks, you've seen the lady that like, and I think a few people do it now, that go through those videos and they're like, this is why this is fetish content. This is why this is food content. Good thing to remember, though, the old Zoo Pals plates. Yes! Oink, oink, Zoo Pals. Moo, moo, Zoo Pals. Love them. Yeah, that's the only thing I can believe at this point. Because they are. Did you see the lady who's making clay versions of this? Of Zoo Pals? No. Korean food looks good. Korean food tastes good too. Like I said last stream, Korean barbecue all the way. They have a French spice blend, but not the grinder version. So maybe that's a BYO grinder type deal, and you have to just use your own grinder. I've seen those people once or twice. The weird thing is that they're actually fetish content as wild. Clay version of what? Zoo Pals. A clay version of Zoo Pals. I'm sure they're a lot more like dynamic than the current Zoo Pals, but that being said, it is 10 o'clock at night, and I said I was going to end the stream. So thank you guys so much for joining, hanging out. Send the Zoo Pals in the Discord. Send the fetish content in the Discord. Don't send the fetish content in the Discord. Send the Zoo Pals. My voice is so gone. Oh my goodness. Thank you so much for joining me here. I will see you tomorrow on TikTok. It's been a lot of fun. Everyone have a good night. Get home safely. Get to bed safely. Thank you for the last hydration and hydration checks. Alex, go to work. And I will see you guys all next time. And I can't end this, so ending the game. So here we go. And there's the button.